I just got off a webinar with a guy called Bill McIntosh, serial entrepreneur. He's made over $100 million online and he's created an incredible product, which I want to share with you in today's webinar. The easiest way to explain what he's built is if you have an offer. Okay, so for me, I'm going to use my book offer as an example. We have a landing page, and what we do is we send traffic to that landing page, no matter where the traffic comes from, Facebook, Google, Meta, it could be male, female, who knows. But what happens is we send all of those people to one landing page, they opt in and then they buy my book. If they don't buy my book, they get an email sequence. If they do buy my book, they get an email sequence. This thing works really well, but it's one offer with one sequence and everything's kind of pre-written and pre-built. What he's built is incredible. Let me explain how I would use it for my offer. He would put a quiz before my book funnel. We would send traffic to that quiz, and based on the answers for that quiz, it would give a custom landing page generated by AI that matches that individual that went through that quiz beforehand. Then they would opt in or buy. If they opt in, they would get a personalized AI email sequence written with everything done instantly within a few seconds. And if they bought, they'd also get a personalized sequence as well based on the answers they've given and a whole lot of really clever AI stuff. I'm actually buzzing by what I've seen on this webinar today, and I'm reaching out to Bill to be able to get this built and tested for a lot of my own offers. Without further ado, as I said, I'm buzzing. I just want to pass you over to Bill. I'm gonna stop talking and just let you watch the webinar because you'll be blown away too. Speak soon.
All right, it looks like we're live. Dan, welcome.
Hello, everybody. Okay, I'm going to cut straight to this. You've always heard me say over the years that you always want to start with your warm network when you start selling to clients. And I'm kind of sticking with that recommendation because if I already know a business owner and they already know, like, and trust me, then our offer is like a shoe-in, right? And I also teach that once you've got that first client, even if they come from your warm network, the real opportunity is to build the relationship and continue helping them, with more AI solutions over time. I call it getting my claws in. So we lead with, you guys know me now, and we lead with what I call the offer of the century, which is, do you have any old leads we can turn into sales using AI over SMS or WhatsApp on a performance basis? And if we don't get paid, you don't get paid, right? Or if you don't get paid, we don't get paid. It's a very simple offer, and it removes almost all of the risk for the client, and it opens the door to, really long-term relationships with everyone who wins, okay? Now, the great thing is that this offer just doesn't work with your warm network. It works very, very well with the cold outreach too. But I have a question for you all, okay? Because I might say it works really well with cold outreach, but I'm seeing a problem inside my community, and that is, how many of you know how powerful this is, but you still haven't quite managed to make cold outreach work consistently at scale? This offer is like epic and it just works so well, but actually getting enough business owners to book that first coffee date meeting is the bit you're probably struggling with. And my host is hosting this, and I'm not sure if I can see your comments just yet, but if that is you, please just type in yes if you're struggling to land coffee dates at scale with cold traffic, okay? I totally get it. I can't see your yeses, but I imagine there's a few. And that's exactly why I wanted to bring today's guest in. Okay, as many of you have seen over the weeks, I've been using this direct mail offer over the last few weeks, right? I've got a bottle of whiskey and I've got a lock on top of it, and it's a code. And in order to get this bottle of whiskey, they have to read this letter, okay? And on it's my number, and it's just absolutely crushing it, okay? It's doing so well. And I've shown you how to choose a niche and pull in thousands of prospects inside the training that I've done with this. And you can enrich the data using tools like Topa.ai. And you might want to build a list of 1,000 qualified businesses in pretty much any market you want to go after. But here's the challenge that we're seeing. How do you know which of these, 1,000 prospects are actually ready to buy? Okay. And imagine if you had a system that could, identify what each prospect actually needs, like their goals, their frustrations, the challenges they're facing, and the opportunities they're actively looking for. So if you can imagine then having a system which writes highly personal outreach, follow up automatically with emails, text message, and even phone calls, all tailored specifically to that prospect. So when our guest today first showed me how this worked, I said, like, this feels psychic. Okay. It feels like it's reading your prospect's mind. And here's the part that really got me excited. Instead of treating all 1,000 prospects the same, it identifies like the best ones, the businesses are the best fit for your offer, for our offer, and the most likely to respond to it. So imagine when you combine that with what we teach, what no one else on this planet is doing, which is the offer of the century that I explained before. If you've got any old leads, we can turn into sales using AI and SMS or WhatsApp. So when you've got a system that helps you find the right people, personalize your outreach, and massively increase your chances of booking coffee dates, then you're onto something that's pretty powerful. So if you're ready to book more meetings, more coffee dates, land more performance-based AI clients, and see a completely different approach to cold outreach, then you're going to love what I've brought you today. My guest has built a platform that's generated over $100 million in revenue online. It's attracted billions of website visitors, and he's helped more than 25,000 entrepreneurs launch and grow successful online businesses. He's one of the smartest marketers I've met in my time. And when he showed me what he'd built, I knew I had to get him in front of you lot. So without further ado, please give a huge welcome to Bill McIntosh. Over to you, Bill.
Hey, thank you for that.
No worries.
Doing well. Hey, thanks so much for inviting me to in front of your audience and getting a chance to share this. It's going to be a lot of fun. And you had a lot of yeses, by the way. People ask, talking about desiring more effective cold outreach and struggling with that. And we saw it a lot in the surveys. So you guys, everybody here noticed the surveys when you registered for our webinar. A little bit unconventional. We do these surveys. You'll learn a lot more why in a little bit. I'm going to explain why do we do those surveys on our webinar registration. But Dan, we learned a lot of really valuable information, which I'll be sharing with you. And it seems that most people, that is their pain point and frustration. There's two that stood out. Number one was this idea of trying to book more appointments and get them to show up. And whether some people were using cold email, some had dabbled with like meta ads, a variety of strategies, but universally it was that they were struggling to make that work. And that by far was the number one frustration and problem point. And the second was dealing with big stacks of tools and a little bit of overwhelm about tool stacks and what to do what with and how things work. And so we're going to solve both of those issues today. That's my goal. So with that, I think I'll dive in. And by the way, everybody, I'm going to share a little more about the survey results that from all of you answering. We got many answers to the surveys. So I'll reveal a little more about what we learned, and I'll show that to everybody a bit later too. So then, so Dan, I'm going to take it from here and get started, huh?
Cool.
Okay, awesome. All right. Well, first of all, hello. So I'm Bill McIntosh. If you're not familiar with me, I've been building internet businesses going all the way back to the 90s, and which feels like an eternity ago. But so I've been pretty fortunate to be successful over all of those years, and build some pretty amazing businesses. And yeah, it's been a great ride. And so I spend a lot of my time now just building tools, software, and coaching other entrepreneurs like you. That's my life's mission now. And by the way, do me a favor, give me a big, warm enthusiastic hello in the chat. If you haven't already, say hello in the chat, and let's make sure that we've got a proper greeting. And here, I'm going to pop into the chat, which you'll notice. So there is a chat panel here. This chat panel is a private panel between you and me and Dan and our team. So when you chat in there, we will see all of your responses and my team will see it. It's confidential, so you don't have to worry about everyone in the chat room seeing what you're typing. It just goes straight to us, and then us goes straight to you. And you'll see that it'll be either down below or sometimes it's off to the side, depending on what device you're on. And lots of warm, excited hellos. So thank you very much for the warm greeting. Yeah, good to meet you all if we haven't met before. And with that, I'm going to share my screen, and I've got a presentation prepared. And by the way, full disclosure, we're going to talk a little bit about a revolutionary system. I call it our sales engine. And I'm going to show you a sales engine that we have built. And at the end of my presentation, I'm going to be showing you how it works, what it does, and then I have an offer to make you towards the end. Full disclosure, right? I will only do that once I have delivered some value to you and you understand exactly this. I want to open your mind to a new way of using AI to make highly effective and very profitable marketing. And it's all about getting you more customers. So today we're focused on you and your business. And so the tool and the method I'm going to show you will help you start if you haven't yet started. And if you've already got something, it will help you make it incredibly profitable. And I have 2 case studies of my own where I've used the strategy I'm about to show you. And we, like in 14 days, made $243,000 and some change by applying these 2 principles to my business. And I'll show you, I'll break it down, show you a case study and some actual examples of that. So that's my agenda. And with that, we're going to get to it. So I have done a lot of marketing over the years, and we have my marketing labs where we're always testing new strategies, both on traffic, so on different new advertising and traffic strategies, and then also strategies on how do we take that traffic and convert it into leads and sales. So we're going to be pulling some data straight out of my marketing labs. It's fresh, brand new. I've just started implementing this in my business, and I'm going to show you how to implement it in yours. And this is all about personalized, one-to-one, complete end-to-end sales, marketing, and follow-up campaigns, where you learn about every unique visitor to your website, all the details about them, their pain points, their frustrations, their goals, and then you get a chance to make all of your marketing speak directly, personally, one-on-one to them. And this makes an amazing difference in your results when you implement this. And by the way, I'll be popping in and out of the chat panel. I've got right at the moment, I'm not looking in there, but my team is in there. So I'll be popping in and out as I ask you guys questions. And so we're going to walk through how to launch your own personalized sales machine that works for you 24/7. Okay. And we're not talking about just like using AI to build a website or make content or launch ads. It's a complete sales engine from top to bottom. You can use this to sell services, courses and trainings, coaching, consulting, e-commerce if you're into selling physical products, software or software as a service, and even do affiliate marketing with it. And I'm actually using it for almost all of these things. By the way, I have a little bribe. So hang out with us until Q&A. A bit later, we're going to do an open mic Q&A where you can ask me anything. And you can ask about the strategy, how to implement it, about our software platform. And if you make it to Q&A, I'm going to be giving away some cash. So I'm going to give away at least one person. Maybe we'll do more. We'll see how that goes. But I guarantee at least one of you will walk away with $100 as a bribe to hang out with me to the Q&A period. So just chat with us, engage in the chat. That is an important part, hint, hint, of how you can win. So keep engaged and stick around to Q&A. and we'll be giving away some cash a bit later. So who's going to stick around to the end? Give me a me in the chat box if you plan to stick around to Q&A. All right. Now, before I continue, I have to do this slide. The lawyers make me do this one, so we can blame the attorneys and the politicians for this one. But I know you're here for results. You guys and gals want to see results, and you like to see proof. That's screenshots. It's seeing how much traffic you could get, seeing how much revenue and income you can make. And so I would like to show you that. And I'm going to show you extraordinary results. I'm going to show you some results that are pretty fantastic. They're not normal, they're not typical, they're not average, they're extraordinary. And I can't guarantee that you will make exactly the same amount of money. You might, and you might not. You might make more, you might lose money. I've had students go out and implement what I teach them and make more than me. But also, let's face it, this is business and there's risk. And you can make money, you can lose money, and your results rest on your shoulders and what you do with the information. Make sense? I know it's common sense, but I gotta say it. So there we go. So there's a bit about me, and here I zoom out my browser window. There we go. Now, I'm not going to do one of those long rags to riches stories and show shots of mansions and Lambos and all that stuff. I want to share just a little bit of data about my background so you know why it's important to listen, and that what I have to say might have some merit to it, because I do have a pretty extensive background. I've driven over $100 million in revenue across my businesses. I've been very fortunate for that. Hundreds of millions of website visitors come flooding to my sites. They've seen billions of pages, well over 25 years of doing this, and I have built several seven-figure businesses. And then about 10, 15 years ago, I made it my life's mission to focus on entrepreneurs. I personally believe that entrepreneurs like you and me and Dan are the ones that drive our society forward and that keep the economy running. It is the entrepreneur and the small business owner that is the back of all future progress really is built off of. And so I focus on helping people like you, and that's with tools and software and with education and training as well. And I'm kind of known for being the guy that gets things going fast. So from idea to bam, $1 million, that's my goal. How fast can I get a business to 7 figures? And here's an example. So this is one, 1.8 million generated. This is actually a screenshot out of authorize.net. Here's another business. It's a PayPal screenshot. We didn't make the million. This was, I think, our first 12 months. We did not cross $1 million in 12 months, but we got close. Here's another PayPal screenshot, 1.15 million in revenue in this business. This is pretty cool. I'm not going to share with you his income results. We can just say his revenue and his profits were life-changing. This is actually from a student of mine. I taught him how to apply this, some of the traffic strategies and some of what I do. And he got 5.8 million visitors in his first 90 days in business. Launched his business from nothing and got nearly 6 million visitors in just 3 months. Now, the revenue that came with that was completely life-changing. Now, as you noticed, we surveyed you when you registered for this webinar. At least those who registered and went through the survey. Most of you actually answered the survey, which thank you for that. And this is what we learned. 59% of you have some kind of business already established. That could be a business that's selling services, an agency, or maybe you have your own business. 21% of you have an idea, but you haven't yet built it yet, and you want to launch it. 20% of you want to start a business, but you don't quite know what business to start yet. Maybe you're still choosing your niche or trying to get your head straight on what kind of offer to make. And today, I'm going to address all 3 of these things. So for those of you with a business, you're going to learn how to get leads and traffic and convert that into money in a new way that is very effective. And then for the other 2 I'm going to show you a tool and a method that will help you get your business launched. And I am not exaggerating that if you follow my advice, you can launch tomorrow from where you sit right now, right here. You can get your offer together, understand exactly what to launch, and launch by tomorrow. So there we go. And that was kind of the overview of the survey results. But most of you were focused heavily on this idea that you want a steady flow of leads. You want qualified prospects coming into your business ready to buy. Some of you talked about sending cold emails and sending out lots of cold emails and not getting a lot of replies. Some of you have burned money on ads, whether that's Meta ads or Google ads or whatever it might be, and you haven't landed nearly enough prospects or customers from that ad spend. Or you've got a solid offer, you got something amazing to sell, and you just have nobody to sell it to. And then, of course, those that haven't started yet are kind of stuck in the idea stage. And I saw a lot of people talking about being drowned in options, of not knowing what kind of business, what kind of offer, what kind of tools to use. There was a lot of discussion of being a little overwhelmed with lots of different options. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a system that is a repeatable way for you to book qualified appointments instead of getting ghosted. People who actually are qualified for your services and show up to the appointments and are interested in what you have to sell. You'll find out how to get a steady source of pre-qualified buyers with their hands raised, ready to talk to you. And follow-up that turns warm prospects into those booked coffee date appointments that you're looking for to close deals. You'll get a clear, pre-assembled path handed to you if you're still in that idea stage. And you'll get clarity on your niche, or niche, depending on which way you want to say it. And it'll give you a turnkey solution to getting started today if you haven't started yet. So the hard part of all this is not that you want a business and you desire to be successful as an entrepreneur or a business owner. It's how to put all the pieces together. The traffic, marketing, leads, ads, or sales. 24% of you said you struggle with that. 21% struggle with technology, AI tools, or complicated processes. 19%, almost 20%, lack of clarity. Some of you talking about budgets and ads being too expensive and not effective enough. And then finally, lack of time, focus, or overwhelm. That's kind of how this breaks down. And that's what we're addressing today. That's what this webinar is all about. Heavily was a focus on traffic in your answers. And this is something I hope to have you make a shift in mindset. And here, I'm going to come on video for a second. I'm going to pop open the chat panel. Who here has struggled with traffic? Give me a me in the chat. Say me in the chat if you've struggled with the traffic, and whether that's because you've gotten traffic and you can't get it to convert, or you're struggling to even get any in the first place. If this is a pain point or a frustration for you, say me in the chat, and let me take a look. I'm going to pop the chat panel open. Okay, a lot of me's. Okay, let's see, who is this? This is, I think it's Christian. He says, "Oh boy, don't get me started." Okay, well, a lot of people can identify with that. All right, so one of the things that for a moment, those of you struggling for traffic, the thing that cracked it wide open for me is to not look at it as a traffic problem. It's actually a conversion problem. Because when I'm talking about me, when I changed my perspective and I really cracked the conversion side, where I know that when I spend $1 on Facebook, I know that it's going to go into a funnel that reliably produces $3 to me back in revenue, that solves the traffic problem, right? You just pour more money into the funnel, or time if you're doing social media or doing content type marketing. And I think people look at it a little bit backwards. They look at like pouring a lot of traffic and then figuring out the conversion. And that's kind of true, but if you don't have conversions really dialed in and highly effective, it's impossible to make traffic work in the long term. And so what I'm going to show you today cracks this wide open. It can take traffic coming in from whether it's cold email, whether it's running ads on Meta, which I'm doing a lot of ads on Meta, and also ChatGPT ads, which if you guys are curious to talk about that, I'll talk more about ChatGPT ads later. We're driving a lot of traffic from there. And now I can afford traffic because when I send them into this funnel that I'm going to be showing you, the strategy that I'm going to teach you, I know I'm getting money out of the other side. And that's what really, truly cracks the problem with traffic. And we're going to do that for you today. We're going to crack this problem once and for all. So it's not that you need more visitors or that you need more followers or more ads or you need to post more. You need a sales system that converts that traffic so that you can afford to invest more money and time and drive it more and more. So with better conversion first, then the traffic finally works. And here's how we do that. We drive the traffic into a personalized sales engine. Okay, so you have experienced this a little bit. You've gotten a taste of what this is like if you registered for this webinar. And if you remember the sequence that you went through and maybe some of the follow-up you saw, it's a personalized one-to-one sales engine. And using that as an example, right here, sitting here right now, we have driven a really high show-up rate. If we look at how many people registered for the webinar versus how many showed up, we have a fantastic show rate on the webinar right here, right now, because I applied this strategy. We personalized the follow-up to make it relevant to you personally, not a generic one-size-fits-all marketing message. We do this to get leads. We then continue that personalization process. We personalize sales pages, landing pages, emails, text messages, even voice AI phone calls. We get money, we reinvest, and we buy more traffic. And that's the key. And I just take all the profits that I make, I take them and pour them right back into more traffic, and that becomes like a self-fulfilling cycle. So before I show you the system, we're going to walk through, I'll show you the system and how you can set it up. I have a question for you. If you had a choice between these three methods, which one do you think would make the most sales? Now, I realize this is kind of a trick question, but I'm going to ask you to answer it anyway. So if you've got these three options, answer 1, 2, or 3 in the chat. You either, 1, you have a generic funnel, which is what everyone's doing, right? Every visitor sees the same sales page. Every visitor sees the same email sequence, the same offer. Or 2, maybe you start to personalize it a little bit. And you're addressing people by name. Maybe you're segmenting them into different groups and having a little bit of like personal follow-up. But basically, the messaging is the same. And 2 really is kind of, I think, what most marketers are doing today is this number 2. Or 3, you have a one-to-one sales experience where you personally interview every single visitor. You literally interview them one by one and learn all of their pain points, their frustrations. You learn what they're interested in, what they click on your website, how they reply to your emails. What do they say back to you when you text them? What do they say back when you call them and have an AI speak to them? And you learn all their goals, problems, budgets, fears, and the desired outcomes that they're looking for. And then you get to handwrite the sales page for every single unique prospect. And every email, every text, every follow-up is uniquely written for that person specifically. So I'm going to go look in the chat. Answer 1, 2, or 3. Which do you think would work? Of course, number 3. That's the trick question, right? But let's take it up a notch. What if we made option 3 stronger? What if you had me? Okay, so I've been doing this for decades. I've been selling, marketing, driving traffic, and selling literally over $100 million in products and services. So what if I personally called every single lead for you. Every lead you ever had. You had me as your sales development rep calling all of your leads. I used my decades of persuasion and sales psychology experience. I answered their questions one-to-one, handled their objections for you, and pointed them to the exact product, service, course, or offer that fits them best for you, and you keep all the money. What if I packed up my laptop, headed over to your office or maybe your kitchen table if you work from home, and I opened up the laptop and went to work for you? I just sit there waiting for the visitors to show up on your website, on your funnels. I chat with every person. I ask them all the right questions. I write myself personally their custom sales messages. So when I send them to a landing page that sells something, it is handwritten for them. Then I personally follow up with every single lead that comes through, and I call them on the phone, and I help you sell products or services to them. I did all of the selling while you keep all the money. Imagine what that would be like. But there's a problem. Obviously, I can't do that, right? I can't interview thousands of people all at the same time, all at once, everywhere. I can't personally write every follow-up 24/7. I do have to sleep and spend time with my family. I can't call every lead for every business. And obviously, no human salesperson can scale like that manually. Focus on the human part. So what if you could clone me and this one-to-one sales process? And I'm not talking about one of those things where you clone your face and you have like, the fake avatar of you talking on YouTube or something. We're talking about cloning the process, where it asks the right questions from the right sales psychology. It understands each person intuitively. It matches them to know what kind of offer to make to them, how to personalize the messaging, how to follow up automatically, and how to keep selling them long after they've left your website. What if you could clone that whole process and essentially have that? Like if we took a copy of me and installed him in your business doing this 24/7. And then you can just clone me 1,000 times over. Every single visitor to your website gets their own unique clone of me, following up, writing web pages, writing offers, writing emails, calling, texting, and they each get treated like they're the only person in the room. They don't get a generic message. They get a unique one-to-one sales message. Now, this matters, and this is something that I think a lot of people that teach, digital entrepreneurship are a little bit afraid to tell you this. But a lot of old marketing strategies, they just aren't working like they used to. I notice new entrepreneurs today, compared to in years past, they struggle to figure out how to get traffic to work. They struggle to make their businesses go. They struggle to scale. And that's because there's a fundamental change, a fundamental shift in the entire business world happening right now. And old marketing just ain't working like it used to. Can anybody relate to that? Anybody here, you ever kind of secretly felt this was going on and maybe, suspiciously thought about it and, or maybe you've realized that it's taking a new approach. I'm going to pop into the chat panel here. Let me see. Where is my chat panel? Okay. All right. Yes. Okay, good. You guys do relate to that. Because we started out in the first era, right? We can go all the way back to the 90s when I first started doing this stuff. And it was the bulk blasting era. Everyone got the same email. Everyone got the same ad. Everyone got the same page. And we would cross our fingers and hope that if we could get 2% of the people to buy, even though 98% didn't resonate with the messaging, it still worked, right? Attention was cheap. It was easy to get traffic. Competition was low. Of course, the math worked. But people began to learn to ignore irrelevant marketing. And by study, 81% of consumers actively ignore marketing that they consider irrelevant to them. And that means generic marketing not only it's not neutral. If you do generic marketing, it isn't that it doesn't not good, it's that it actually trains your audience to tune you out. And then we moved into era number 2. And this is where people began to learn about segmenting, right? You could say, hey, I have a group of people interested, or you could segment them by niche. Like, hey, I help plumbers, but I also help dentists, right? You could break your list into 2 parts and then kind of communicate a little bit more personalized, but you're still kind of bulk blasting just to smaller groups. Slightly different messaging. You can use basic rules, and inside your tools that you have, you can tag them to like what categories of things they're interested in. And it was better than bulk blasting, but still not truly personal. And this was kind of as people began to adapt to try to, as there started to get more competition, ads started to get more expensive, we started to naturally have to segment and do a better job and not be bulk blasting everybody. But, let's face it, hi first name is not real personalization. And again, by another study, this one is from Instapage, did a study that 63% of people never respond to a non-personalized email. Era 3, this is where we are now. Channel saturation. There is marketing messages everywhere, most of them generic, cold direct messaging, booking links sent to go book in your calendar, automated webinars, generic email sequences, AI written posts everywhere, AI videos everywhere, lots of cookie cutter funnels. And the channels are crowded. The messages all feel the same, and our prospects are overwhelmed and they tune us out. This is the era we are in now. Fortunately, there is a solution because we're moving into the next era. And those who come with me are going to profit. Because people are opting out of all that noise. This study found that 70% of people unsubscribed from at least 3 different brands in the last 3 months because of the noise. So more automation and more generic messaging is not the answer. And here's where people are getting AI wrong. You see a lot of AI written content, AI written emails, AI written posts, AI videos, and it's a lot more generic content, which is not helping us. It's making the problem worse. The new era that we're moving into now, and this is, I believe, this is my prediction for the future, this is where AI's true evolution lies. It is in one-to-one AI marketing at scale, meaning you have the equivalent of a human talking to every single prospect who ever interacts with your business, who interviews every visitor, learns what they want, personalizes their journey, follows up based on what it's learned from them. And it sells like a human, but it scales like software. And this, not writing sales letters and not doing all the other kinds of generic marketing, is where AI will thrive. And, ironically enough, it's by making our marketing more human. AI will win. So the winner is not the person who's going to create the most AI content. The winner is the one that can clone their highest converting sales process into a system that talks to each lead one-to-one at scale. This is the true path for us to bring in customers into our businesses and convert them into sales and scale and grow. Now, new entrepreneurs, people, that are new to starting this, often don't have unlimited ad budgets. Like the big corporate companies out there that have deep pockets can spend an endless amount of money on ads to wipe us out. We don't have those resources. You don't have years of conversion data and testing and scaling to know exactly what converting. You're starting brand new from scratch, or you're new-ish, right? You can't afford a funnel that leaks leads. So if you've got a funnel that is only appealing to a small percentage of the traffic that you send, you're leaking the leads out all over the place. If 90+% of the people who visit the page leave, that's just like like a money leak. You need every visitor to teach your AI system something about them, and then a system that learns, follows up, and improves. And as I mentioned earlier, generic marketing is not just that it underperforms and doesn't do as well. It actively causes people to ignore you and leave your brand. 1 in 4 consumers have said that they actually will tune out a brand and be less likely to purchase from them if they are using generic marketing. 76% of consumers are frustrated when the website doesn't feel like it's personalized to fit their needs. Add in personalization and the money math completely changes. 40% more revenue, and people spend 54% more money. So not only do they buy from you more often, they spend more money when you follow this. And this is why conversion comes before scaling traffic. As I was talking about earlier, a lot of people have attention on traffic and how do I get more leads and more traffic? It's by solving this conversion issue before you scale your traffic. Because ads are expensive when your traffic's not converting. You know, if you're investing a tremendous amount of time making videos and social content, it just feels slow when it's not really resulting in anything. And it feels kind of random about the lead flow coming in. And every mistake you make, it just gets worse. Versus you have a high converting sales process, like I've described, you get to test more traffic, you can afford to buy more clicks, you can have automated follow-up systems and scale by just doing more of what works. And this is where the money will appear. I've found just by personalizing just the call to action, meaning like when you ask someone to book a call or you ask someone to buy a product, if you personalize just that one part by explaining why it's relevant to them, not just why it's relevant to everyone, you'll see a 202% increase in conversion rates. So we start out by asking questions, and these can be survey questions or people clicking on things, and we'll ask like, what are their goals? What are they trying to achieve? What are they stuck on? What things have they tried? What problems are you facing? And then we like to focus on their dream outcome of like, once they've done business with you, what's like the perfect scenario? And we learn all of that. And then when you've set up your sales engine properly, it doesn't just stop there. It asks this, it adapts, and it pitches and adjusts according to each individual person's needs. And then every answer is fuel for your sales engine. It adapts for you. You'll see in a few minutes, I will demonstrate this and you can see how it works and how easy it is to do actually. It adapts and changes the pages they see on your website to personalize them for you. It changes the offers that they're shown. It changes what proof they need. So you might have different kinds of testimonials that better fit different scenarios and situations. It changes the emails they receive, the texts, and even the call scripts from the AI voice follow-up. When the AI calls them on the phone or accepts their inbound call, the script will dynamically change for each individual person. So what happened when I implemented this in my business? Anybody want to know? I already teased a little bit about that. You guys want to know some specific examples? So what I'll do is I will show you, I'll show you 2 examples. It resulted in, it's $233,496. I was off a little bit in my math earlier, but it took 14 days to do that, spread out over 2 campaigns. And so I want to show you these campaigns, okay? Well, one of them you're experiencing right now. It's this very webinar. But I'm going to go into my screen here. Hold on while I take off full screen mode. I want to show you, here is an example. This is a live living example. I ran this workshop. It was a 4-day workshop for people to spend 4 days with me building a business together. And I've run this many times. And it's a pretty good workshop, does well. We make a lot of money from it, get a lot of customers. But I added the personalized sales engine to it, where we began to personalize and learn about every prospect and plug in the sales engine. And this is why I ask right here, what describes you? This is the quickest and easiest way for me to segment people into buckets. And I can see which of these 4 categories they fit into. And then immediately, the sales message that you see fits that button. So when you click it, the sales page changes in real time and it adapts to exactly what you clicked on, okay? Now that's just a baby step, because then if you do go sign up, this was a free workshop. Like you get a free ticket, and then we did a follow-up survey once they signed up. And we adapted all of the marketing. So when it came to getting people to show up to the workshop, we had an incredible turnout. 80% of the people that registered for a free ticket attended the 4-day workshop, which was unheard of in all of the history of us having this. We used to get pretty good show rates, but never 80%. The minute we plugged in this sales engine, it shot through the roof. And the first time I did it, we made $100 for every free registrant to this workshop. Free. They didn't put their card in. $100 in revenue came out the other side just by getting them to sign up to a free workshop. And then the other option I want to show you is this one here. Any of you remember this one? Who here remembers seeing this page? If you're here, the odds are you've seen it, right? So same thing. What best describes you? You know, and so if you click your choice, I don't know if you caught it, but the sales page there, I think you've got a glimpse of it. It's changed, and it completely changed. And we see a fantastic conversion rates on this opt-in form when people register for this webinar. But more importantly, what you might have noticed is, here, let me do something. I'm going to fill this out. And here, let me just plug this in real fast. We'll go reserve your seat. Oh, I'm already registered. Hold on. That phone number's already in there. Okay, let me see how I can show you this survey. Here, hold on. I'm going to pull this off screen for just a moment. How am I going to do that? Trying to show you how I can do the demos. Let me try this 1 second here. There we go. Then I sent you through this survey, and over 70% of the people who registered for this webinar answered this 3-question quick survey. So we can say, what do you hope to achieve? I'd like to buy traffic and make it profitable. Next question. What challenges or frustrations? Traffic is too expensive. What are you trying to build? A sales funnel that makes profit. And then the very next thing is that you get a customized offer based upon your answers. All right, so you get this customized offer based upon your answers. And then not only that, then the follow-up begins. And what will happen is every email, every text message, every voice call is tailored to your answers and what you said there. And then let's say you're on the phone talking to the AI agent, and you tell the agent something about your business. He remembers it and stores it in his memory and continues to adapt. And so we did this on this webinar. And again, we do really well with webinars. I've made tens of millions of dollars just promoting webinars like this. But we plugged in the sales engine to this webinar, and immediately the attendance rates shot through the roof. And the fact that you are here right this moment is living, breathing proof that this works. And we made $246 in revenue for every free webinar registrant. the very first time I ran this to my audience, which were unheard of numbers, more than 300% increase in the amount of profit we make from our webinars by implementing this personalized sales engine into the platform. So the question would be, would you like to see how to build one of these? Anybody, would you like to see how to build it? I'm going to do a demo. We're going to actually build one together in a couple of minutes, okay? So let me jump back to the presentation. Okay, so, okay, we got to that part. Okay. Now, there's a reason why you don't see these funnels everywhere, because they're kind of hard to put together, okay? To be able to do a true one-to-one funnel like that, where you're custom writing every page, you're customizing the SMS, the email, the phone call follow-up, you're storing and summarizing all the data you know about every prospect, and then having AI agents follow up with them. There's a big stack of tools and a lot of things to put together to make this work at scale. And so it's hard right now. And this is the problem that we have just solved. In fact, when I show you the demo in a minute, I'll show you how you can literally speak a funnel like this into existence in as little as 10 minutes. Imagine having all of that launched in 10 minutes. Just by speaking out loud and having a quick conversation. It's like you're talking to a friend, which you'll see in just a moment. Now, I know some people worry a little bit about using AI in scaling. I know there's some concern about that. And AI is not the problem. The problem is generic AI. And most people are using AI to create more generic posts, more generic emails, ads, and funnels. And the real opportunity here lies in this personalized interaction. You know, it's like more humanized marketing at scale is really what we're doing. And people are open to AI. The consumers, when it serves them well and it's actually improving their experience with your marketing and your business, they actually they like it, right? It's bad AI that we're starting to get some backlash from. So it's not more AI content, it's AI-powered selling, okay? So we're not trying to generate the same generic content faster that creates the same thing for everyone, that feels robotic. Instead, we want different journeys for different people that is custom tailored to them specifically. So again, the 4 layers, we personalize the website to fit the traffic and the type of person coming in. We personalize all of the follow-up, and that results in an omni-channel approach, meaning like phone, SMS, voice, email, all personalized to each person one-to-one. And the first layer that we apply here is the choose your own adventure website. So you saw that, right? When the AI would know about what I wanted, it would personalize it. When I answer surveys, it personalizes my sales pages. It personalizes my webinar registration pages, and it makes it like based upon their interest and adapts and adjusts in real time to fit what their needs are. So that's the first element of this system. The second layer is by making the traffic more valuable. We want to get more traffic converting into leads and getting that traffic warmer. Okay, and that is the other layer. How do we bridge the gap between the traffic that we are sending and making it much more effective? And then the personalized email begins. So now when you're following up with them by email, let's say they've registered to book a call with you. And now the AI is giving them a unique, personal, one-on-one reason why they should show up to your call. So rather than saying the same generic message of like, show up to the call and I'm going to show you X, Y, and Z. It's, hey, Joe, I saw that you're really struggling to grow your business because you don't think social media is working for you. And that's exactly what we're going to address on your call. Now, the odds of someone showing up when you're specifically calling out their personal pain points and frustrations and goals goes up dramatically. And I've proven it because of the show rates to my workshops, my webinars, and my sales appointments skyrocketed when I did this. Then, of course, you've got the remarketing. So once someone comes in, maybe you've had your sales call with them, maybe they bought or they didn't. Now, it doesn't stop here. Forever, for the life of as long as that person is in your database, the AI is learning about them, how they respond to emails, what do they say on phone calls. They can take transcripts of phone calls, and it continuously learns about the prospect and continues that sales and follow-up process for as long as you want. And it really is the closest thing to having me. Like, we built a system that does all of this, and you'll see it in action in a minute. And it's the equivalent of having me personally doing all of your follow-up for you, because it knows what everything the leads say. It knows what they want. It knows what problems they're stuck on. It knows what exactly how to present your offer to them so that they feel like it solves what they're looking for. And it triggers personal follow-up at scale. So again, we've kind of covered this, so I'm gonna jump over this, but this is the process. The visitor arrives, the AI interviews them, identifies the right path, personalizes their pages, personalizes their emails and SMS. The lead becomes a customer, and the more data you gather on each individual customer, the better the system gets at selling. Now, some of you know about my platform, Buildy.ai. That's part of what we're using to build this. And I'd like to do a demo. Anybody here, would you like to see it in action? Yeah, let me see. Let me see the chat. Say, give me a big yes if you want me to just do the demo and show you now. Give me a big old yes. I want to make sure that I haven't put you all to sleep. All right, we'll do quick check. Let's make sure everyone's awake and excited and interested in this. Okay, all right. There we go. I see a big bold. Let's go. Okay, fantastic. Just making sure. Okay, so I'm going to pull it up here and. Which, by the way, the system I'm using built this whole presentation, by the way, including customizing it for you when it learned about all of your survey answers and then customized our whole presentation that I'm giving you based upon the surveys that you guys answered. All right, so I'm going to open a new Buildy.ai tab. And you know what I would like to do? Dan, I'm going to call Dan out here. Hopefully, are you still out there, Dan?
I'm here.
Hey, all right. So just so everyone knows, I didn't put this together ahead of time. I need a business idea. Like, what could we build that we want to promote? What kind of services who would we target, and what would we promote?
Can we do my offer?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So we want to target businesses that are advertising.
Okay.
Okay. Have been in business for over 5 years. Can we do that?
Mm-hmm.
And they're in the home improvement industry.
Okay.
And they've got a database of old leads that they don't have time to chase up because they're constantly chasing new leads.
Okay.
And I want to be able to sell a database reactivation offer to businesses that have those attributes. Possible?
Okay. Yeah. So I think to do a sales engine, what I'd recommend is we do some sort of an intake quiz that results in an assessment. So we can, and I'm gonna let the system just make up the questions, and we'll see what it comes up with. But
okay, perfect.
So that would be like the initial lead generation. So it'll collect some data about them, give them an assessment, and then encourage them to book a call for a coffee date.
So I don't want them. If they haven't got those attributes, I don't want to talk to them because they're not the right type of business.
Got it. Okay. So if they disqualify themselves, then we'll just show them the assessment, and we won't invite them to book.
Correct.
All right. Let's go for it.
Hey there, Bill. I'm Buildy. I can help you build a website, run market research, set up marketing campaigns, and more. What are you working on?
Yeah, hey, Buildy. I would like to create a new business. So I want it to be like home service professionals is my ideal client. I want them to be established, people that are advertising actively. They've been in business at least 5 years. And what I want to do is I want to get them to do an assessment, like a quiz funnel, where we'll ask them questions about their frustrations, their pain points, their dream outcome, but also qualify them based on those answers. And then at the end, I want to show them an assessment that tells them what they need to do to improve their situation, and then offer them a call to help implement that assessment. But I only want to offer them a call if they are qualified, meaning that they are actively advertising, they've been doing business for 5 years, otherwise, let's not offer them to book that call. And I want you to make the homepage be like a sales page, pitching and selling this quiz, this assessment. So that's like our offer. And I want it to be filled with great images. I want to use like direct response style copy that really digs into their frustrations, pain points, paints the ideal outcome of them having a lot of revenue coming in the door from, without a big investment, and then really sell them hard on taking the assessment. Can you build that for me?
That's a solid concept, a high-converting quiz funnel for home service pros with smart qualification built in. Let me make sure I've got the full picture before we kick it off. What's the core thing you help these home service businesses with? Like, what's the actual service or transformation you're offering once they book that call?
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to give that away on the homepage necessarily, but what we are helping them with is database reactivation. So we help them take their old lead lists and find new sales in them.
Got it. Database reactivation for home service pros. That's a strong offer with a clear ROI story. And you're right, you don't need to spell it out on the homepage. The sales page just needs to sell the assessment. Let me get this rolling. I'll set up your project space now, and my team will start creating that sales page and the quiz funnel with all the specifics you've mentioned. We'll make sure the copy is direct response, really hitting those pain points. All right, we're in. The project's live and the team is already on your quiz funnel and sales page. I'll keep you posted as things come in.
All right. Now, he is also a coach and guide. So he kind of mentors you through the entire process of launching the
Still
business.
there, Bill?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here.
Cool. While the team's working on this, have you thought about what happens after someone books the call? Like, do you have a follow-up sequence in place, or is that something we should build out too?
Yeah, I was thinking like maybe we should have 2 sequences. We could have one sequence where you personalize all of the responses based on their survey answers, and encourage them to book a call. So let's say they fill out the assessment, but they haven't booked a call. And then I'd like a second one where when they do book a call, we give them a series of strong reasons to attend the call, also based on all of their personal answers.
Love that thinking. Those are 2 really smart sequences. Before I pass all of that to the team, they actually came back with 2 quick questions first. 1, what's your business or brand name? And 2, for the call booking, do you have a scheduler like Calendly set up, or would you prefer a form where leads leave their phone number and best time to reach them?
Yeah, for now, why don't you guys come up with a brand name? I'd like to see what you come up with. Let the team pick it. And then for the booking link, just assume I'm going to put in a Calendly link, but we'll just leave it as a placeholder for now.
Perfect. So Calendly placeholder for the booking link, and I'll let the team come up with a brand name. Let me send all of this back to them now, including those 2 follow-up sequences you described. So the team's got everything now. They're going to create a brand name, build the full sales page and quiz funnel, and layer in both email sequences with personalization tied to each lead's actual answers. That last part is really what makes this powerful. Every email they get will feel like it was written just for them. I'll keep you posted as things come together. One thing worth thinking about while we wait, do you have a lead list ready to go for the database reactivation side? Or is that something we'd want to build a system around once the funnel's pulling in clients?
Yeah, we won't worry about that today. Maybe we'll build that another day.
Sounds good. We'll come back to that. You know, one thing that could work really well alongside this funnel is an SMS sequence. Since these are home service pros, they're often out in the field and might not check email right away. A well-timed text could nudge them to book that call a lot faster.
Yeah, hey, I want to ask you also just a generic question. So if I wanted you to personalize all of the text message, and how about also voice follow-up? Could you do that too?
Yeah, both of those are supported. For SMS, we can absolutely personalize the messages based on their quiz answers, same way as the emails. For voice follow-up, we can add AI phone call steps right inside a marketing sequence. The AI has a real conversation with the lead, and you can set a specific goal for the call, like getting them to confirm their appointment. It can also transfer to a human or send a follow-up email if you want those options enabled. Want me to add personalized SMS and voice call steps into those sequences we're already building?
Now let's hold off on that for now, but I also want to ask you a quick question. Once we've built all of this and launched it, can you help me get traffic too?
Yeah, definitely. A few good options depending on what you're after. For paid traffic, Google search ads would be really strong here. You'd be catching home service pros who are actively searching for ways to grow their business, which is exactly the intent you want. Meta ads are another solid option for broader reach at a lower cost. Want me to keep that in mind for once the funnel's live? Or do you want to start thinking through which channel makes the most sense for you?
We'll address that later. And then how about social? Can you do like free? Are there any free traffic strategies we can use?
Yeah, organic social is a great option. We can create posts for Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, and a few others. Oh, quick update. The team's actively building out the sales page and quiz right now, so that's moving along. For organic social, LinkedIn would probably be your strongest play here, since you're targeting established business owners. We could do thought leadership posts, carousel tip guides, that kind of thing, stuff that speaks directly to the frustrations of home service pros and drives them to the funnel.
All right, great. Well, we'll do all that later. Let's just, at this point, can you go quiet and then let me know once the build is done?
Sure thing. I'll let you know when the team's finished.
Okay, so Dan, as you can see, he's very helpful. He likes to offer advice and tips all the way through. It's hard to deal with that on a live webinar, but it's useful when you're trying to use it.
Can I challenge you here a little bit to see what can be done? Because this is very cool.
Oh, yeah.
Can you, so the way that we sell this when they get on the coffee date or the call is to do a demo with them to show them how they can basically make money from thin air via their old leads. Is there any anything that we can do inside the funnel or the quiz and the follow-ups that explains to them that this is like it's not really a pitch thing. It's like it's a demo type thing that shows you how it works, and we don't ask for anything up front. It's like a performance-based deal. I'm just wondering if that's going to help people opt in to the funnel better, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so we could definitely work some of that language in through the funnel and then in all of the follow-up for sure. To make sure it's really clear, like we're not asking for any money, we're going to help you find, essentially, hidden money, unclaimed money inside your business.
Yeah, so you could just kind of like, I know it's building stuff out at the moment, but you could probably say at the end of it, like, okay, I'm not quite happy with this. I want to update it as per what I've just said.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You can edit anything and the whole funnel on the site, all of any ads, emails, any aspect of your whole business by just having a chat like this. Yeah.
Nice. And it'll create the ads, the Google ads if we want it for us as well, I take it.
Yeah, it does ChatGPT ads, Google ads, X ads, LinkedIn ads, and I forget some more. I don't remember the other ones.
Meta, did we say Meta? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Amazing.
And what about cold outreach and stuff like that?
I mean, the system currently isn't designed for cold outreach, but we've had a lot of people asking. So, I mean, I'm thinking about building it if there's enough interest. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, we're building a personalized funnel for any offer that we want. That's going to, once you get traffic to that funnel, whether it be from any type of outreach methods, it's going to convert and close like crazy, right?
Exactly. I mean, one of the things about Buildy is that, yes, it can build any kind of funnel for any kind of offer. I mean, it can even do e-commerce and, you know, information products and courses and whatever. It'll adapt and essentially build anything. It even builds apps. But, you know, today I'm focused in very heavily on this, the sales engine process and, you know, trying to focus on that. But you know, it does essentially do everything for building any kind of business. Yeah.
And what happens? Sorry, I've got lots of questions, and there's going to be more, obviously.
Yeah.
But you know, what happens if, like, it doesn't work the first time around? Okay, like let's say we're driving Google Ads to this database reactivation offer, and we're booking, and we're not getting it work. Like, it's not working. There's no opt-ins. People aren't filling out the quiz, and there's a disconnect between the ads and the funnel. How would you improve it?
So you would talk to Buildy, and he would help you walk through the analysis of why that might be. If there's like a mismatch, maybe the messaging isn't congruent, or, you know, he may look and see that, you know, it could be that you're targeting irrelevant keywords accidentally, which is very easy to do in Google. Unfortunately, they love to spend your money on irrelevant keywords, but And then the ads can be changed. Like, you know, you talk to him, he'll change the ads, adapt, adjust the keywords, that kind of thing.
Nice. And the funnel as well, right? If we want.
Yes, yeah, and the funnel can change as well. Yeah.
Okay.
And like one of the things I'm doing now, which makes it really easy, is I'm building out like lots of custom landing pages to fit all the different types of keywords that someone might click on to come to my offer. And it makes it super easy to do.
Yeah, it's got my mind racing here as well, right? Because we've got a book funnel where people come into and this is irrelevant to the people watching, right? But a lot of you that are watching this call might have come in and bought my book, right? But there's lots of different avatars that buy the book. So I imagine this would be pretty easy for me to feed the landing page that we have got at the moment and say we need 3 different avatars built with all the follow-ups and everything built for those 3 different avatars. And can you help me write the ads based on what is working?
Oh, absolutely. You could even do like a little 3-question survey like I did to help with the idea that you're going to help them implement the book for their situation. And then you get a wealth of knowledge just by asking those survey questions.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Okay, my mind's definitely racing now.
All right, cool. Well, he's going to come back with the build in just a couple of minutes. This process takes 5 to, depending on a more complex build, can take up to 10 minutes for it to complete. But, and there we go. As I say that, there it is. So here is our first draft of the project. And I think it's still working. So I think it's still making images and other things. And then we've got our assessment. So here's one of the qualification questions. More qualification questions. And then here's where they would put in to see the results. And now he's still building it. So I'm prematurely going through it. But this part here, when he's done building, will be a custom tailored report based upon all my answers. And then any of this is editable. And I can show more examples of this. So what I'll do is I'm going to let him finish out the build, and then I'll come back and I'll show everyone how to, how you work with Buildy to edit and change and modify everything it builds. But there's a real quick example. So we'll let him finish working, and then I'm going to jump back into my presentation here. And we'll continue. Where was I? Right here. Okay. get back to where we was. Okay, now there we go. So at this point, I want to talk to you a little bit about how I can help you implement this in your business. And we have a done for you, done with you solution where we're going to help you implement this in your business. And then you could use the Buildy platform to do it over and over again, if you have other businesses that you want to get started as well. But we're going to work with you to help you install and implement one of these engines on your business to help get you more leads, more qualified leads, and ultimately more revenue. Because at this point, I don't think you need another pile of information.
Bill, it's all done. The team went with Booked Solid as the brand name, speaks directly to what home service pros want, a full calendar. Here's what's live. The sales page with the full quiz funnel, qualified leads see the personalized results and the call booking button. Unqualified leads get a warm thank you with no call offer. Both email sequences are built and personalized from each lead's quiz answers, and once someone books, the reminder sequence automatically stops. 2 things to sort before it goes live. You'll need to swap in your real Calendly link, and emails won't send until your sending domain and mailing address are set up. You can do that in the dashboard tab up top. And honestly, worth taking the quiz yourself as a test run to make sure everything flows the way you want.
Okay, Billy, thanks. I'll come back to you after I've looked at it. Thanks for all your help.
Can I just ask something as well, Bill?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see how the
Sounds
headlines?
good. Take your time reviewing it. Just come back whenever you're ready, and we'll pick up right where we left off.
Okay, sorry, Dan.
That's all right. I'm tired of staring at empty days on the board. To me, that didn't make sense when I read that, but maybe that's the kind of language that home service guys use because they've got a whiteboard up there or, whatever that might look like. So it's kind of interesting that, there's 2 scenarios. One, I'm wrong and this is the exact language that they do use, or I'm right and we need to kind of tweak the headline and, the job board wouldn't make sense either in my opinion, but what would we say if we wanted to kind of tweak that, or what's the next steps? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, 2 things. The first one is, I'm kind of doing a rush job as getting him started. And typically, I would give him a little more guidance and not let him do so much freedom on his own. The more data we give him about the prospects, the better he's going to do. And then there's a whole other step, which I didn't do, which I can have him do market research. So I could have said, hey, go out and do a bunch of market research. Go find all the data you can about these prospects and help and use that to write the copy. That would have added probably another 3-4 minutes. So I just kind of skipped that step. But
I get it. I'm just putting you on the hot seat, mate.
Yeah. But then also, I'll show how easy it is to fix it. Let's come up with a better headline. And I'll get through. Let me get through to Q&A, and then I'll come back, and then we'll make the headline better.
Perfect.
All right, awesome. Here, I'm going to hang up on Buildy. There we go. And we'll go back to this. And then, Dan and I will be back, and we will, we're going to make that site, we'll make a series of improvements on the site, and I'll show you how that works. Okay, so at this point, I could offer you a course or a bunch of training on how to, do a bunch of this. But I think instead, what most people want is done with you, done for you, hands-on help. So we're going to talk about a path to that. Because you could duct tape this together. If you're really good at tech and you're really confident and comfortable with AI agents, you could duct tape this together by stitching together a variety of different tools to make them all play nicely together. But instead, we're going to do it all under one platform, all powered by Buildy, and we're going to help you implement it in your business. And that's our 24/7 sales engine. It is a done for you / done with you AI-powered one-to-one sales system. And we'll install this on your business, set up the funnels, and we can either help integrate it with some of your other tools, or it can just replace that stack when it comes to like your lead, you generating your leads for your business. So we will build the whole thing around your business, whichever wherever you are in your journey, whatever business you're trying to run, whatever kind of leads and traffic you want. And if you're one of the people that answered that you weren't quite sure, it was like 41% of the people here weren't quite sure of exactly what their offer should be, what niche should they go into, what should their business be. And so I also want to offer an additional bonus to help all of you. So we're going to help you get started out so that when you launch, your business can be highly profitable and have the highest odds of success because you've got this sales engine installed on it. But we'll help you with that. So when it comes to working out your niche, working out what your offer should be, and getting your whole business launched, we're going to assist you with that, as well as anybody who already has a business. We'll show you how we can just bolt this on to your current business. We're going to get into the buyer psychology of this, because this really does open up the door to using kind of more traditional selling psychology compared to marketing psychology. It's a little bit different approach when you're doing one-to-one selling and you're not trying to sell a one-size-fits-all type of a thing. So we cover the psychology behind that, and we'll teach you how that works. We will set up your AI lead interview funnel. We'll set up your personalized sales pages, your personalized email follow-up sequences. And again, these are not just like a one-size-fits-all sequence. Every unique person gets a unique email every time. Oh, and by the way, we also do SMS. And I know this from personal experience, and I'll bet you can relate to this. But getting an SMS phone number set up, isn't it like a a major pain? Having to go through the application process and get your phone number approved to be able to send marketing messages. Well, Buildy handles that for you. So when it's time to set up your SMS number, he does a complete analysis of your website. He makes sure that every little I is dotted, every T is crossed, everything is done, all of the policy is done. He'll help you write your application, and then he submits it for you. And we're still early, but we have almost everyone. I think we've only been one person that in one shot get their SMS application approved in 2 days. Like that's in the average time, it's 2 days. And all approved first shot. And that's because the AI does a complete analysis of everything, including your application when you submit it. So
that's a valuable tool. That's a valuable tool right there. I mean, there's people on this call that have done their head in with A2P and getting their number through. That's a business in itself, Bill, what you've just explained. From my audience.
Wow.
Yeah. Sorry.
The idea is Buildy tries to make it as easy as possible. Like all of the points that are like struggle and resistance points, it tries to make it easy. So yes, so you will be set up with a text message reminder, and our system will help make sure you get approved easily and quickly for being able to send SMS marketing messages. Plus, it's voice. So not everyone wants voice, but if you want voice, we can have voice outbound and inbound powered by AI, and it's also personalized based upon each individual prospect. So when someone calls the AI, it knows who they are because of their phone number, and it knows how to respond to them. And obviously, if it called them, it already knows everything about them. And so it can call them and give them reasons to show up to your appointments. And I mean, it's a full marketing and sales voice bot. And we got a bunch of fast action bonuses. I don't know who here might need help with this, but it is helpful to make sure that you have your business set up right, like that you've got your LLC and your business filings all in order. We'll help you with that if you need any help with that. I have someone who will do all of those filings for you for free as an added bonus. Also, I'm going to share with you our ChatGPT Ads Success Bundle. So I'm using ChatGPT Ads a lot in my business, and they're working phenomenally. So I'll share with you what's working for me. We'll talk about how to pick a profitable niche. We'll talk about how to, we have a whole package on how to use email effectively to make revenue. And then, of course, we're going to set up your custom sales engine and install it in your business. So there's a lot of stuff included. And if you've been on a webinar like this, you kind of know how it works. There's a whole stack of things, including one-on-one dedicated mentoring. So you'll notice on the page that we're going to give out in just a minute, there is an option. We call it our ultimate option. And you can get a one-on-one mentor to work with you, have weekly meetings with you, be available, unlimited chat and email coaching and mentorship. And that is a $6,997 value. Plus the complete campaign quiz setup. So we will set up to 6 of these campaigns up for you. Again, details on that are on the page you're going to get in a moment. That is a $5,982 value. And one thing I'll point out is we're listing all of this stuff here, but most of the things on the list, you can't buy them. They're not currently for sale anywhere. They're only available through here, but I'm putting the value on what I would have to charge for them if I sold each one individually. But I won't go through the whole stack. After the corporate brand and setup package, ad creation, traffic generation, you're going to get a license to Buildy.ai, or it's actually a level that allows you to do these personalized campaigns. Not every Buildy account can do personalized marketing. You are going to get a special account so that you can do personalized marketing. Plus all of these bonuses, it all adds up to $24,942 in total value. But again, you couldn't go find these things for sale anywhere to buy them individually anyway. And you could build it piece by piece, whether you'd have to hire a team of, whether it's a funnel strategist, automation specialist, and all the stuff that you probably already know can be complicated and expensive to set up. Or I'm about to make you an offer where you get it all in one simple system. It's all packaged with a silver bow. All the integrations are included, all the done-for-you logic, all the personalization. It's all in one affordable package. Now, I want to call this out real quick because I have done these webinars and I want to make sure that I attract the right kind of people to take the offer I'm about to make. So this is for you. If you're looking for clarity and real business direction, you've got an idea that you need to put an offer together, you want leads and sales for your existing business, you're tired of a bunch of disconnected tools and you want a guided system that builds the assets for you. But I want to make sure it's clear. This is not one of those get-rich-quick things. So if you're looking for some kind of guaranteed overnight money with no effort at all, this is probably not the right solution for you. Or if you're refused to adapt or improve with the modern era of marketing and sales, it's probably not the right solution for you either. Make sure you follow the launch plan we're going to be giving you. And this is definitely not another one of those pile of videos or training courses that collect dust, virtual dust on your hard drive. Okay, so I want to make it clear that's not what this is. And if that's what you're looking for, this is probably not the right offer for you. Now, because this is a done for you / done with you offer, we can't do an unlimited number of these, okay? Because we're hands-on actually doing the work with my human team is helping you do this and implement this. So because you're joining early, you know how it works. It won't be 24,000 with some odd change dollars. You're going to receive a big discount. And it's not a public offer. Okay, it's open now during this private session. I'm about to invite you in. It's not something that you can just come back and buy at any time. Now, there is a catch. So I want to make this clear. Buildy, and especially this new sales engine, the 24/7 sales engine, is new. And I am looking for some help from you. And if you are willing to do this, this is the catch, so to speak, then I'm willing to drop the price and let you in at a fraction of that price. So you'll get the full program, including all of the training, the support, the setup help, the early bird discount, one-on-one mentoring, and the rest. And in exchange, what I'm looking for is honest feedback. Okay, so I want feedback, both good and bad. So If you have something that you think can be done better or that should be done a different way, if you have feature suggestions, we are under active development and launching Buildy.ai, and now is the time that I need your feedback. So I do expect that, insights and implementation, and that you're willing to give us a testimonial. Assuming that we get you a good result, I do expect a testimonial. Okay, so that is our handshake agreement. We're doing a virtual handshake. If you're willing to do that, then I'd like to invite you in. Would you like the link to check it out? All you have to do is type into the chat. Again, you'll see down below the panel or off to the side, you type these 3 words into the chat, and the system will automatically give you your link. So you just type, I want this. That's I want this. Those 3 words with the spaces just like you see them there, pop that into the chat, and the panel will automatically present you with the link. And I'll give everybody a moment to do that. We'll talk a little bit more. I see some questions coming in, so we are going to do Q&A. I'm still going to give out $100, and then Dan and I are going to customize that website that you saw earlier. So we still have a bit on the agenda, but for those who want the link to check it out, just type I want this into the chat now. And here I'm gonna cheers. Get a little bit of coffee, give you all a minute to type that in. Cheers. And it looks like I'm a little blurry, but yeah. Okay, cool. So a little more I want to tell you about the offer, and then in a moment, Dan, I want to bring you on and ask you a question too, but we'll do just a little more about this. So obviously as an early bird and as part of this offer, you'll pay a lot less than the $24,941 retail stack. You'll get the 24/7 sales engine program, the setup services, all the technology, all the training, all the support you need. So act now and you'll get all of those early bird bonuses. And you might be asking, is it really worth the investment? When you head over to the page, you're going to be presented with 3 different options. One of them comes with direct one-on-one mentorship. One of them comes with group mentorship. And then the third option is sort of the do-it-yourself route, and you still get our VIP support. So when you look those over, think about the one that best applies to you. And the higher the level, the more implementations that we will do for you. So if you have more than one business, we'll implement it for you. You can look at all the details on that page. But what is it worth to have a clear path forward? And once you set up one of these, they're running for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it will run for months and ideally years, bringing in revenue for you. And it becomes an asset as part of your business. It just continues to go to work for you day after day. And again, this is not a public offer. It's available now while we're here together in this private setting. And I cannot promise that I will ever offer this pricing again later. And once it's filled, the private offer is going to close. So a business that you're in control of your traffic because you know it's profitable. You've got a system designed to attract and follow up with all your prospects that works even when you're not sitting in front of your computer. It's still busy making you money. And you have a growing business that's generating asset value. What is that worth? A business that puts you in control of your time and your future. When you take a look at the page and you're making your decision, that's what you should weigh it against. And I have a bonus that I'm going to add. So we're going to talk more. I think Dan and I are going to talk more about another bonus in a moment, but I personally wanted to do something special. And you may or may not know, I do business consulting. And I don't do a lot of it these days. I'm kind of semi-retired when it comes to that, but I used to do a lot of business consulting, and companies, larger companies would pay me $25,000 retainer to go in and analyze their marketing and their processes and help them become more profitable. And I would work with them personally one-on-one to turn their business into a bigger profit center. And I've had clients, I've made millions upon millions of dollars when they hire me to do that. But what I would like to do, and this is only for the first 5 people who join at our ultimate level. So when you join at ultimate, you're going to get a dedicated one-on-one mentor. But the first 5 who join now, I will also mentor you. So not only will you have your own dedicated mentor assigned to you, who knows all about you, your strengths, your weaknesses, your budgets, what you're trying to accomplish, you also have me coming in your corner to help you as well personally. And now this is my own personal time. I'm very busy running a large company, and I value my family time, so I don't have a lot of spare time. I wish I could do this for everyone. It's just not possible. So I had to limit it to 5. So it's for the first 5 who join at our ultimate level will get additional mentorship from me personally. And by the way, I have people asking, what happens if this doesn't work? So I want to clarify this. I have a policy that we call our risk reversal. It's 100% risk reversal. So I'm going to assume all of the financial risk here today in this transaction. So when you join, it either works or you won't pay for it. And let me explain how this works. Today, you need to decide you're ready to just step off the sidelines and get into action. We're going to implement the 24/7 sales engine. And then there are steps. You do have to do stuff to make this work in your business. So be prepared to do that. Complete the steps, get the system to work, use our training, our technology, all of our services and support. And if it doesn't work, you ask for a refund and you get your entire investment back. So everything you invest today, I will just give it back to you. So try the 24/7 sales engine. You have 6 months. That doesn't mean you have to wait a full 6 months. You have any time up to 6 months. You can come back to us and say, hey, I did what you said. I applied the stuff. I got your help. You tried to help debug this and it just ain't working. Well, not only will I give you 100% of your investment back that you spend today, I will also stack $500 on top to reward you and to compensate you for the time that you invested. So you'll get a 100% refund plus $500 on top if this doesn't work. But I do ask that you do it. This guarantee requires action. This is not this is not I woke up on the wrong side of the bed and I want I changed my mind. This is I'm in at the same terms. Like I'm making my entire team available to help you implement this. And if you show up at the same terms as we are, that's all I ask for. You implement, you follow our training. Something, I'm sure at some point or another, something's not going to go right? Maybe your ads won't go right. Maybe something won't work technically right. I just ask you work with my team. They will do everything possible to fix any problem you run into. We will do everything to make you profitable. And at the end of the day, if it ain't working, it ain't working, and you get your money back. So then the question becomes, is it worth investing some time? Right? The finances, I'm taking the risk. I will assume the financial risk in this transaction. So it really is about you risking your time of implementing. So by the way, we have a rebate program. Anybody here interested in getting this offer for free? Say me in the chat. You do have to jump in today, so you do have to take the offer today, but we do have a rebate program. Let me check the chat. Any me's in there? Anybody want this for free? Yeah, okay, there we go. There we go, there are the me's. Okay, so here is what will happen. You do need to join today. You take advantage of the offer, you grab 24/7 Sales Engine, put it to use, and get the results. Now, already are a deal, right? Remember, the agreement is that when I get you great results, you're going to give me a testimonial, right? And you're going to tell me, give me a testimonial that I can use in marketing, that I can share with the rest of the world. But if you're willing to go a step further and you're willing to document your success for me, like document the revenue you made, document the traffic you got, And then you and I will jump on a call and we'll spend some time putting together a detailed case study. I'm going walking through, what did you do? How did it work? What was your niche? What was your business? And we'll kind of showcase you as a success. And if you're willing to be transparent and let me use that in my marketing as a case study, then I will give you a 100% rebate. And not, you'll be a shining example of what Buildy can do, and I'll get to show the world. And in exchange, I will give you a 100% rebate on your investment today. So that's our rebate program. And there we go. So join now before the offer is closed up. It's available now while we're here together. And jump in over there, and we're going to do Q&A in just a moment. And Dan, I want to get your thoughts on the offer and see.
Yeah, cool. I mean, it's a great offer. I've never seen that rebate offer before as well. It's very cool because it tells me that growing the business and putting your money where your mouth is important to you. And if people are getting results, which they will, from what I can see here today, then the fact that you're willing to give a rebate and also the money back guarantee plus $500, I mean, that's a pretty strong offer, I have to say. I've got an idea though. So we did talk before about what I can also throw in to people that will buy.
I'll bring this on camera here too. There we go. Okay.
Yeah. So what I was thinking, we're about to go back to the landing page we were building before, but what I was thinking is, because a lot of people on this call are selling my offer, right? And a lot of the feedback I've been getting, and we've never actually implemented as a business to help my students, is how to scale this with paid ads. I've never had to do it because I've had a strong network, and I always I'm quite good at reaching out to warm networks, and it's just fairly easy for me. But there is a big demand for how to scale this with paid traffic. And what I was thinking is that maybe me and you, Bill, could jump on and we could build the funnel for our specific database reactivation offer, and go back and forth and figure out what we think is going to give people a very good chance of landing clients at scale with Facebook ads, with mine and your head brains together, for my students if they buy. Do you think that's a fair bonus?
Yeah, that would be great. We could spend some time together and kind of record the session and come up with, that would be fun. I'd like to do that.
All right, let's do it. I just thought of that off the cuff. So is that for anyone that buys, or it is a certain level of buyer? What do you? I'll leave that with you. But I'd like to give my time.
Yeah, let's. I'd say, well, we'll throw it open for everybody. Yeah, I mean, I have my other bonus for those who take Ultimate. So for those who have the budget and you want to grab the Ultimate program, you'll get mentorship from me. And then let's make the other bonus. We can the two of us will just jump on and record that and share this with everyone, all the buyers. Yeah. Okay,
cool. That sounds good to me. I've got a few ideas for this landing page as well.
Oh, great. All right, cool. So then we'll do I'll show how we edit the landing page, and then I can see we have a pile of questions coming into the chat. So everyone, we will get to your questions. Don't worry about that. I will hang out here as long as needed to answer every question anybody has. So, but quickly we'll do the demo. Let me get the screen back up again. Here we go. There's our page here. Okay, cool. Now, I guess we'll start with changing the headline. And did you have some thoughts on that, Dan?
Yes. So what I like to do with my headlines is what I call dimensionalizing the headline to make it something that people could picture in their they can picture. So I've created a landing page around this offer before, and it's something along the lines of a lead comes in at 10:59 p.m. on a Friday night. Your sales team has gone home. What do you do? and how do you turn that lead into money? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So like when business owners see that and they can understand it, and their inbox pings at 11:59 or 10:59 when their sales team's knocked off, they're immediately they immediately understand how we can help them, and they're leaking money because of this. So I'm just wondering, from my experience, whether we can add something like that into the headline to make it more compelling for them to be able to go through this assessment to see how much money they can make. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do. Let's fire him up and see what he comes up with.
Hopefully I've been specific enough there for you, but give it a go.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill, welcome back. The team got Book Solid built out. Sales page, quiz funnel,
Yeah,
and
hey, Buildy, I'm going to interrupt you. Let's just cut right to it. I'd like to tweak the headline on the homepage. I'd like to create a headline that like a business owner can visualize in their mind. They can kind of experience it. And I'd like to go with something where like it's copy that they can think with. Like it's 10:59 p.m. A lead calls your office. No one's there to answer. And then how do you make profit from that lead? So can you think of a headline that kind of paints that picture, maybe uses some of the copy elements into this homepage?
I love that direction. Cinematic, present tense, makes them feel the missed opportunity before you offer the fix. Let me send the team a few headline concepts built around that exact approach and get them on the homepage. So I'm sending the team to write a few headline versions built around that exact visceral timestamp style, the kind that drops the reader right into the moment before they've lost the lead. They'll pick the strongest one and put it on the homepage live. I'll let you know as soon as it's done. While we wait, that same storytelling energy could work really well in a short video ad, like a 15-second clip that opens on a ringing phone at night, no one answers, and then flips to the solution. Could be a strong meta ad.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Mm.
Yeah, it could hit really hard for this audience. Home service pros totally relate to the late night missed call. We could run it as a meta video ad and drive straight to the quiz. Want me to put that together once the headline update wraps up?
Yeah, we'll get to that later, but that's a great idea, though.
Sounds good. We'll come back to it.
All right. Do me a favor and go quiet and just come back once the headline is edited.
Got it.
Okay, it came up with a variation of that. So it didn't use our exact copy, but it's a similar concept.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that one or not, but what do you think? Yeah.
No, I don't like it that much. I'd like something a bit more similar to what we explained.
Okay, so let me, because I gave him too much leeway, I think.
Yeah.
So we can say, here, I'm just going to type it, right? So we'll do it the old-fashioned way, and I'll use my fingers. Please change the headline to this. And then we can just tell them exactly what we want. It's 10:59 p.m. And your phone rings? Was that the way we said it? Oh, I don't hear you for some reason. Oh, there we go.
It's 10:59 p.m. Your sales team's gone home, and a lead just pings your inbox. We can turn that lead into revenue before your competitor gets to it. Take the assessment below to see if we're a good fit or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, well, actually, I didn't do the caps right. So let's see if I can. Since I put a quote, he's probably going to do it exactly like I say. So I want to make sure I capitalize
This is just off the cuff, by the way, but it'd be good to see how it works. Yeah, I mean, I imagine I'd just iterate this over 2 to 3 hours until I get it to where I'm happy with it, right? Or even quicker, right? But I'm fussy with this stuff.
Okay. Then I think I'm going to leave take the assessment out of the headline, but I'll, because then we can put that into the sub headline.
It's on the button too.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. So, all right, well, we'll just tweak the headline with that. And then, so you can just do it like that. And then also there's a lot of that market research part that I talked about where you can have him go look stuff up on the web, come up with ideal customer profiles, really get into the like psychographics of your prospects and tailor the copy to it. But, you know, that's not exciting to watch on a webinar, but you get to sit there and watch the thing spin while he does his research. So we'll wait for that to come in.
Where's this hosted? Where's this landing page hosted? I take it you'd buy a domain and it would be linked to that domain? Or?
Yeah, it's a pretty elaborate and complex infrastructure, but the basic answer is the site that when you publish it. So if you'll notice up here, there's a publish tab. So when I publish it, it will live in Cloudflare's infrastructure. They're like the leading, a web infrastructure company. And that's where your site will live when the world comes to see it.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, there's a lot more complicated stuff going on. But once you hit publish, that's where your finished website for the world will sit.
Now, that's a compelling landing page, especially for meta ads, because home service people totally relate to this. That would work.
Yeah, there you go.
We can turn that.
Any of it, colors, copy. I can have him. I'd like to see more images as an example, but we can do all of that just by chatting with him.
Did the rest of the page change based on the headline I just gave it as well?
I don't think so, because I could have asked him to, but yeah, in this case I didn't. But
that's the next thing you could do, right? And you just go back and forth until you're happy.
Yeah, and the other thing, we could even do that choose your own adventure style where, if let's say you have different kinds of traffic coming to this and you want to segment them into different types of service professionals, you could have a set of buttons that they just choose which they are, and then now the sales page will change to fit that that niche. Well, cool. Well, I'm excited. I think it'd be a lot of fun to do that extra bonus time we're going to do with the traffic and funnels and like put together the perfect one for your offer. I think that's going to be fun.
Yep.
Cool. And and by the way, what you guys have been watching me do, it's just as easy to do this with traffic, right? We haven't really touched on traffic yet, but I'll do one example. In fact, yeah, I'm going to do an Instagram carousel with this concept that we just used in this headline, and it's just to show you how this same approach of just chatting with Buildy does your social media. It also does all of your ads and any aspect of your marketing and sales funnel just by chatting. So we'll do that, and then I'll answer questions because we got a lot of them. But let's fire them back up.
Hey, Bill, welcome back. The team's got the booked solid site, quiz funnel, and both email.
All right. Are you with me there, Buildy? I would like to go ahead and create an Instagram carousel that we can post socially, and then maybe we'll do an add-on later. But I wanted to represent the headline that it's 10:59 p.m. Your sales team has gone home. I want to have a carousel and have it be like, what happens to that lead and then you come up with a bunch of scenarios of the lead disappearing forever and not getting money. And then the final slide will be they've hired us and we've brought the money in.
I love that concept. Each slide is a different what-if scenario showing the lead slipping away, and the final slide flips it with the booked solid intervention. Before I send the team on this, one quick question. How many slides are you thinking? Instagram carousels can go from 5 to 7 slides, so I want to make sure the pacing feels right for the story you have in mind.
Let's do a total of 4 slides. We'll keep it fairly simple. Let's do a title slide. Actually, never mind. Let's do more than that. We'll do a title slide, then we'll do 3 scenarios, and then the final slide at the end with the call to action for a total of 5.
Five slides it is. Title, 3 lead loss scenarios, and a closing call to action slide. Let me send the team on this now. The team is building all 5 slides now. A cinematic title scene to open, 3 distinct story beats showing exactly how that lead vanishes without a trace, and a closing slide where Booked Solid steps in to flip the script. Each slide gets its own AI-generated image in that dark, late-night visual style to match the mood of the copy. I'll let you know as soon as it's ready for you to review in the queue. While the team's working, one thought. Once this carousel is live, it could pair really well with a short AI video ad on Meta using the same 10:59 p.m. concept, since motion tends to stop the scroll
Buildy,
even faster than...
Hey, Buildy, I appreciate your helpfulness, but let's go quiet until that's done. Just let me know when it's finished.
Sounds good. I'll let you know when it's ready.
All right. So
he's very helpful.
So now he's making a post and making an ad, and I think his helpful nature, I think, is really underappreciated. Like, he really does a great job guiding people through this whole process, so you're not left, having to figure it all out on your own. So,
can I just ask, is this because ChatGPT, when I use it and talk to it, right, like, it knows me pretty well now, and it's obviously tailored the responses to my life and it's my feedback over the last few years. Is this built on your marketing brain, or how is Buildy built? Because it's obviously a marketing tool, right?
Yeah, it basically, yes. So there are a bunch of skills. So this whole infrastructure is a big swarm of agents. It's a very behind the scenes, because what you're seeing looks really simple, but behind the scenes, it's really complex. For every one of these tasks, what Buildy's doing is he's creating like a swarm of agents. And each agent has its own unique training and skills, different models. Like we use.
Bill, it's done. The carousel is sitting in your queue as a draft. 5 slides, dark navy with amber lighting throughout. It opens with the 10.
Okay, we'll check that out in a second. But each agent has its own unique set of skills that are assigned to it for the task it's got at hand. And then they go out as a swarm. They're all doing different tasks with their own unique sets of skills. But those skills are based on a library that is basically like, my mind is running all of the skills for the marketing.
Okay.
So that's kind of a long answer, but that's the answer. And it does learn from you at your project level. So everything we do inside this project kind of ends up in its memory, so to speak. So it becomes intimately familiar with this project as a whole, instead of you personally. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, right on. Well, let's show this. Hopefully the images are all done. Oh, there we go. So the screen's a little small, but hopefully this is coming through. There we go. I like that. Okay. So it's 10:59 p.m. Your sales team has gone home. A lead just hit your inbox. By morning, the lead is ice cold. No callback, no booking. They called 3 other companies. Someone else answered first. They moved on. Fix it themselves. That job is gone. And then Book Solid never clocks out.
That is cool. That's cool.
So now at this point, I don't have to go to Instagram. Assuming if I had connected my Instagram to Buildy, there is like a quick connection process. But if I had connected it, I could just click that button and then it would immediately post it without me having to go to Instagram. I don't have Instagram connected, but I could also schedule it. So we have a whole calendar. Let me show you that real quick. I think I can get to it from here. There we go. So it's a whole scheduling calendar that lists out across all your social media channels, everything that Buildy has scheduled out for you to run. So you can throw it into the schedule or you can post it immediately. So there you go. There's an example of social media, and ads are just as easy as that. Now with that, I want to bring Daniel on. So Daniel is behind the scenes, and he's been wrangling questions. Daniel, are you out there?
Yeah, we've got quite a few questions here. So let me go ahead and pull up the list. I've been saving them. So the first one I have here is, can you explain a little bit more about the mentoring with you and everything that package comes with?
Sure. So when you buy Ultimate, you're assigned your own dedicated mentor. So everyone gets one that's not me, right? So you'll get a mentor on my team, which, by the way, this is not some sort of weird outsourced mentoring. These are people that I have personally vetted, that I know they themselves have built a profitable, successful business. They know how to get traffic, and they're really good at helping other people do the same thing. So they are not like some sort of outsourced person reading scripts or some nonsense like that. It's people that have been there, done that, and you'll be assigned one of the mentors on the team. They'll schedule an appointment with you, and you can book in their calendar. You can do a Zoom call with them once a week. You have 2 months of a mentorship that come with Ultimate, and you can book a Zoom call with them, jump on Zoom, share screens, work together with them on anything you need for your business. And then in addition to that, you have chat support from your mentor and email support from them. Plus, at Ultimate, you also get our group coaching. You can show up weekly to our group sessions. And then, of course, everyone, even non-Ultimates, get our VIP support. So, we don't leave anybody behind just because you're not an Ultimate. But that's what comes with Ultimate. And then only if you're one of the first 5, which they may already be gone. I see receipts coming in, so I don't know for sure, but there might be, I couldn't imagine more than 1 being left at this point, but the first 5 who get Ultimate, I will also get involved and mentor you. And how that will work is I'll be invited in and I'll join your session with your mentor. So then I will come in, I will join. And a good time to get me involved is once you've kind of launched. So early on, I'm not a lot of use. I'd be kind of a lot of wasted space, actually. But once you're launched, then I come in and I'll work with you and your mentor to help make you go faster and bigger revenue. That's my target. So that's how the Ultimate program works. Yeah, there you go.
All right, awesome. Thank you for that, Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Another question a question that has been rolling in a lot is, can I start with one of the lower packages and upgrade at a later time?
Maybe is the answer to that. Our Ultimate offer with mentorship, like we don't have a lot of mentors, so the lineup can get full. So if the mentors lineups are full, you will not be able to upgrade into Ultimate. So just want a fair warning. I want to say that right off the top. So if you want to make sure you get in the lineup, it's open now and there are slots available. But let's say you come back to us in 2 weeks and you ask to upgrade to Ultimate, it's entirely possible that the lineups are full and I won't be able to take your upgrade. So just want to make sure that's super clear. So that being said, you have 30 days to be able to upgrade from one plan to the other and credit your initial investment. So if you jump in at premium, you could credit that towards Ultimate. But again, at Ultimate, it's only if there are mentors that have an open lineup. We're really particular. I don't want to overwhelm the mentors. I think that makes them deliver a poor quality experience to you. I want to make sure they have a limited number of students on their lineup and they're not overwhelmed. So we do limit their lineups. Just want to make sure, fair warning, if we turn you away in the future. All right. What else we got, Daniel?
Another question is, people want to know if they can use this for multiple businesses.
So the package that we're offering today, the 24/7 sales engine, is all about you and your business. Now, you can build as many for you and your partners and family and you as you want, no limits. We have an agency program, which we haven't talked about today, where you can use the Buildy platform to fulfill services to your clients. That's a separate program. It is available, and my team, I'm sure, would be happy to talk to you about it if you want to learn more. But today, it's all about using Buildy to help you. And then, if you're interested in becoming one of our agencies, that is a different offer that we can certainly talk to you about. And let us know in the chat if you'd like to speak to one of my team about that. And by the way, everyone who joins will be offered that. You will be offered a chance to get an agency license as well. I think it might even be in the funnel when you sign up.
And a related question to that, you might have touched on it there, but I'm going to ask it anyway, which is, how many offers for our own internal things can we create?
So how many projects can they make for themselves? Is that my
Yeah, I
understanding?
said offers, but projects. Yeah, how many can they create for themselves?
Yeah, there's no limit. There's no limit. We call them message credits, and I think the level that you're getting today comes with, I think, 300 message credits. So that's every time you instruct Buildy to do something. Like if I want him to go build something, change something, make something, each one of those consumes a message credit. But otherwise, there are no limits. You can make as many projects as you want. So if you have 10 different businesses, or you have a brilliant idea for an 11th business tomorrow, there's no limit. You can make as many as you want.
All right, and Grace wants to know if we create, once we have our project created on Buildy, are we able to host it on another platform if we so choose?
You can. I wouldn't advise it, honestly. So you can export the code of the projects you build in Buildy. If you don't have a technical member of your team, it's going to be very difficult for you to go and host it yourself. And I would really honestly recommend. I know it's my product and everything, and I'm a little bit biased here, but the honest advice is that I would leave it on our platform. If you're familiar with the company Cloudflare, that's who is managing that infrastructure. They're like the best in the business, the largest company in the business when it comes to like hosting infrastructure. So your stuff is on rock solid, really fast, high performance infrastructure. And it's just part of it. You don't pay anything extra for it. So you might as well use it.
Great. Thank you for that, Bill. A few people in the crowd who haven't launched a business yet want to know, how can I make money from this?
That's part of the bonuses that we added in. So if you're someone who you want to launch an online business, we will help you through that process. So there is some training and some one-on-one help and group help that we're going to give you to kind of get through that decision-making process of what's your niche, what should your offer be, and get your business launched. And you can use Buildy to launch that idea to the world.
Fantastic. There's been a lot of questions that revolve around Go High Level. So I'm just going to kind of ball a few of them up together here and going to say, how does this integrate with Go High Level?
A great question. So, and Dan, I could probably use some feedback from you on this one as well. So our system, we have a built-in integration with High Level. So we can take the leads and send them to High Level and tag them. Is that sufficient, like within the stuff that you teach people in High Level? Would that be enough to get the leads from our system into like some of the stuff that you build?
Yeah, so what we're talking about here today is a client getting funnel, essentially, right, for the offer that I teach. So that's what I would call the agency funnel. Okay, so I would be setting that up with a high level integration and have the leads tagged as you've just explained, Bill, and then I would run the DBR stuff or the speed to lead or the out of hours leads traditionally through high level, like I teach in my stuff. That's the way I would do it.
Okay, great. Well, there you go. And so we have that built in. So Buildy has a built-in integration with high level, and that's what it'll do. It'll take any lead that comes into the Buildy system and then send it over to high level and allow you to dynamically tag that lead so that you can identify it and run automations on it over there. Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Okay. A question from Mickey, who wants to know, they're looking at premium and they're asking about, do I need to buy anything else to make this work?
No. So let me say that fully transparently here. So there are expenses like a domain name, right? So if you want to register a domain name, it's $29 a year to get a domain name. So there is that. If you choose to invest in ads, like if you're going to spend money with Meta or Google or X or whoever, obviously that ads expense would be on, you pay that directly to them. There's no other thing that I'm going to sell you that you have to have. In the funnel, you might be offered to join our agency program or things like that. But those are optional things that are not required to implement everything I've showed you today. So to do the 24/7 sales engine, there's nothing else to buy.
Awesome. Okay, let's see here. That answers that question. Here's one from Raphael, who says, which LLMs does Buildy utilize?
All of them. That's part of that infrastructure I was talking about, where, which I'm going to brag about my son for a moment. So you guys may or may not know this. My co-founders are my sons. So I have two brilliant sons. One who's like the finance and business guy, and the other one who's got a master's in AI and machine learning. He builds the infrastructure that runs all of the AI models. So he's building our platform. And he has created a system that it dynamically adjusts to the right model. So as an example, one of the things that happens, let's say you're trying to get Buildy to build something, and it's not quite working the way you want, and you're starting to get frustrated in the chat. He will detect that and immediately escalate to a smarter model, and then a smarter model, all the way up to, we use Fable and Soul, which are the two cutting edge, the best models in the world, as an example. So, and then we also know that certain models are good at certain tasks. Like you may find, some of you may have this experience yourself. ChatGPT is better at some things. Claude is better at others. And then, believe it or not, some of the Chinese labs are better at some other things. And then we've got Grok. The Grok model is really good at some things. And then even Facebook just recently released, what is it called? Muse, I think. And their model excels at doing certain tasks. So our system dynamically routes, essentially, when it creates these little sub-agents that do the work for you, it will use all of these models. It uses whichever model is appropriate for the job at hand. So that way you don't have to think about it, rather than having to, I know it drives me crazy following on YouTube all the latest model releases. I don't know if anybody else has that bad habit. I follow all of them. And every time there's a new model and all the hype that goes around the model and what it's good at and bad at. So you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Let us worry about that. And then Buildy will pick the right model for the right job. What's next?
All right, thank you for that, Bill. One thing I should bring up, which has been piling up here a little bit, is that folks in different situations have, we'll say, a barrier and need a little bit of time. what can we do for them?
So let me ask in the chat here. I'm going to come back on. Hopefully I'm not, oh boy, I'm even blurrier than before. Who here is in that situation? Maybe your credit card is declining. You got to call the bank. Maybe could be that you need to transfer some funds to make the transaction happen. Maybe payday's coming up. Or maybe you want to make sure your spouse or your partner, like, they know about this transaction so you don't surprise them with a big charge. Any scenario like that where you've made the choice, like the mental decision is made, like, this is awesome, this is for me, I want this, but you have something to solve like that, then let me know. Give me a me in the chat. Let's just see how many people are in a situation like that. There we go. Okay. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We have a magic word, or it's words, I think, technically, that you can type into the chat. And so what will happen is if you're in any situation where maybe you need to talk to my team and get a final last-minute question answered, maybe you're, again, transferring things around, dealing with credit card declines, bank transfers, paydays, whatever, but you just need a little bit of time, then there are some magic words that you can type into the chat. And Daniel, what are those?
They're going to want to type in the chat, hold my spot.
Well, there you go. Hold my spot. Type that into the chat. And what's going to happen is it'll wake up a little automation. If in the workshop system may or may not have your phone number. If it doesn't, it's going to ask you for it. Make sure you give us your best mobile number so we can reach you, because we're going to close down in a few minutes. I'll finish answering questions. I'm going to give out $100, and then we're going to go home. And so I want my team to be able to reach you, right? So they'll reach out to you separately, help answer any questions, and then help make sure you get your spot locked in and get in. So you definitely need to put your best mobile number in there. They'll text you ahead of time and then make arrangements to have a chat and make sure you don't get left out. So that word again, or words, is hold my spot. So type that in, and that will get your spot held. Oh, we'll see lots of people typing hold my spot and giving their phone numbers and everything. Thank you for that. And our team will definitely be in touch with you and make sure that you don't get left out when we close up today. Cool.
All right, cool. We're just helping folks gather a little info and make sure they're not left out. Let me pull up my list of questions here and we'll continue with Q&A.
Awesome.
Here we go. Okay, a lot, not a lot, but there's been a few people who've asked. They're around the world. So does this work in different languages?
Absolutely. I wish I spoke a different language to test it in, but here, let's do this. Let's have some fun here. 1 second here. Let me get Buildy back on.
Hey, Bill, welcome back. Looks like we just wrapped up some slide edits. Slide 1's looking bigger and more spacious, and slide 6...
Actually, you know what? I'm going to go to the main homepage here. Let's go over here. I'll start a brand new project, and we'll start from here.
Hey there, Bill. I'm Buildy. I can help you build a website, run market research, set up marketing campaigns, and more.
Buildy, I got a surprise for you. So you are live on a webinar with me and 2 other co-hosts, and we're answering a bunch of questions from the audience. And how you feel about that? You want to be part of our webinar?
Ha, I love it. Let's do it. What do you need from me?
Yeah, so they have questions about you, and I thought, who better to answer them than you? So can you create websites in different languages?
Yes, absolutely. We can build a website in any language you need, or even a multilingual site that supports multiple languages for different audiences. Just tell us what language or languages you're targeting, and we'll handle it.
And then what if I don't speak English? What other languages could you talk to me in?
I can communicate in pretty much any major language: Spanish, French, Portuguese, German, Mandarin, Japanese, Arabic, and many more.
Okay, speak to me in Japanese then. Prove it.
はい、もちろんです。私はビューディです。ウェブサイトの作成やマーケティングのサポートをお手伝いします。何でも聞いてください。
All right, switch to German.
Natürlich. Ich bin Buildy und helfe dir dabei, Websites zu erstellen, Marketingkampagnen aufzusetzen und vieles mehr. Was möchtest du wissen?
How about Italian?
Certo. Sono Buildy e posso aiutarti a creare siti web, gestire campagne di marketing, fare ricerche di mercato e molto altro. Cosa vorresti sapere?
Okay, back to English, and then tell me, can you make websites in all those languages?
Yes. Whatever language you want the site in, we can build it that way. And if you need multiple languages on the same site, we can handle that too.
All right, awesome. Stand by for the next question, Buildy. All right. Anybody else have questions for Buildy?
Ready when you are.
What else we have, Daniel?
Okay, so let's see here. Okay, cool. Somebody just triggered. I just reminded me. So I'll ask their question. Do we have a payment plan?
Oh, yes. Yes, we do. I know. So, well, actually, I better check. So, Daniel, I know Scott made that yesterday. Did you confirm it's working? Because I'm not sure. Let me check that. Hold on, guys. Let me just check and make sure. Can you check that, Daniel, and just confirm that that is actually working? And while Daniel's checking that, who here, if we're able to, if we were to do a 4-payment option, so that would be 1 payment today, and then 1 payment every 30 days before the regular monthly kicks in. If that would help put it in your budget, let me know in the chat. Just speak up and let me know if that would be helpful to have a payment option like that. We have, if I'm remembering right, I think it is a 4-pay option on Lite, 4-pay option on Premium, and a 2-pay on Ultimate available. And what do you see, Daniel? Is it working?
Yeah, I can confirm that that link is working. Yeah, it's working properly.
Okay, cool. Well, we have another magic word for them. What is it?
So to check out the pay plan, you're going to want to type into the chat pay plan. And if you like typing that out in 2 words, that should work as well. Pay plan will get you the pay plan link.
Okay, so pay plan or pay plan, either way, type that into the chat, and that will it'll kick back and give you the link where you can get directly to the payment option page. And again, one thing to realize when you're looking at the payments, remember there is a monthly fee attached with this. There's the payment you make today, and then there's a monthly. So that is wrapped into and built into the 4 equal payments when you're looking at that. And then after the 4 months are done, it drops down to our regular monthly fee after the 4 payments are done. And by the way, you guys can also ask Buildy questions. If you got a question, I got him right here on standby. Here, we'll put it this way. He's just waiting to answer your question.
Oh, well, I think this one's maybe just, this one maybe just served up for Buildy here. It's from Kim.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And she says, my clients are very brand proud and don't typically like their ads created with AI. So can Buildy accommodate using real images for ad creation?
Let's ask. All right, Buildy, I got a question from the audience, and they want to know, when it comes to making ads, what if they don't want to use AI images? Can they upload their own?
Yes, they can. When we set up an ad campaign, they can provide their own images, and we'll use those instead of generating new ones with AI.
All right, pretty simple answer.
All right.
Stand by. The next one's coming up.
I've got one from Grace. This may be for you, Bill.
Standing by.
Grace says, I wanted to reach whales, a whale client, and they don't often respond to this type of quiz. What other options can Buildy provide?
Well, I would say I don't necessarily see that as like the blanket statement that they don't respond to this type of quiz. I think they will with the right messaging, right? So if the quiz is presented to them as a means to achieve their personal goals or overcome their frustrations, they would, right? Like, I'm a pretty successful guy. I fill out quizzes when, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to fill out which flavor fruit are you, or a quiz on social media or something like this, right? But if I have a quiz in front of me that is going to get me a tangible, specific assessment, right? That's really what we're talking about. We say, hey, Mr. High Roller, you really have a problem with X. Answer this quiz, and you're going to get a personal assessment to help you solve that painful problem. All right, that's a lot different than those silly like social media style quizzes. And personally, I have found that qualified prospects fill these out. Now, that being said, Buildy can do any kind of marketing. So anything you want to build, any kind of funnel, any kind of store, checkout process, anything you want to build on the web, he can build it for you. So he's not limited to only doing quiz funnels.
Great. Thank you for that, Bill.
Yeah,
That's a great answer.
I have no idea what he's going to say, but I want to ask his opinion about this. Let's just find out. Hey, Buildy, I'm curious about something, and the audience would like to know. I've been showing them a lot about how you can make quiz funnels and then do personalized marketing. But what if they're marketing to an affluent crowd, like a very high caliber affluent crowd? Would quizzes still work, or do you have any other recommendations?
That's a great question. Quizzes can absolutely work with an affluent audience. The key is in the framing. Instead of something that feels generic or gamified, you'd position it more like a personalized assessment or a discovery process. Think, find the right solution for your situation, rather than take our quiz. High-caliber audiences respond well when it feels tailored and respectful of their time. That said, for a truly affluent crowd, I'd also pair that with high-quality content marketing and a strong email sequence that speaks directly to their specific pain points and aspirations, not broad messaging. The more specific and elevated the tone, the better it lands with that demographic.
Great answer.
Thanks. Ready for the next one whenever you are.
Awesome.
Okay, just stand by and go silent, and I'll bring it to you as soon as we have one.
Got it.
Anybody have questions for Buildy or me? I can answer questions too, but he's available for questions if you want to ask him one.
I got a question from Rich here, which is, do we need to have an advertising budget?
You don't need to. If you have one, then it becomes even more efficient and effective. If for one reason or another you cannot budget paid ads, you can use either SEO and organic and content marketing. You can also use social media marketing. All of that is free, but realize that kind of marketing takes time. Those are not overnight instant traffic sources. So if you're willing to, be in it for the long haul and work those tactics and put your time in, they'll totally work without any paid spend. Excuse me, I'm getting the hiccups. But if you're looking for fast traffic, there's really nothing better than paid ads. And that just comes down to your personal situation and what makes sense financially for you to budget towards investing in ads.
All right, Andrew would like to know does the business setup work for the UK?
I know that it is like what they do. It's a partner of mine who I have got who does all of the filings for my clients, and they do all of the filing and preparation for free. I do know they do them in the US. I don't know if they'll form a UK company. I don't know that for sure, so I don't want to promise that to you. I do know that they can help people in the UK file to have a US LLC. I do know that's possible.
All right, thank you, Bill. Raphael would like to know if you can go over Dan's bonus again.
Yeah, so Dan and I are going to jump on a live call, and we will invite all of the buyers to come join the call with us. And we're going to build a funnel that is specifically tailored to promote, the Dan's offers. So whether it's the reactivation one, I know he has a variety of these different offers that you help local businesses, big and small, with their marketing with AI automation. So we're going to create funnels with Dan specifically to promote those kinds of offers for those of you who are in his program. And then we'll share all of that with you so you can reuse the funnels and all of the training on how to build them. So we're going to cover that together in a live call that will be recorded if you can't make it live. And then we'll share that with all of the buyers.
All right, awesome. And Andrew had another question that I missed earlier, which was, could Buildy work alongside an external agency doing ads? If you have our agency license, so that is the thing. We didn't pitch that today, but if you have that, you can use Buildy to make ads for your clients, which is, I think, what you're asking. So that is possible. It's just not exactly part of this exact package. Yeah. David would like to know is, can Buildy execute an SMS campaign if we have a database of mobile numbers that have opted in?
Right this moment, we don't have a one-size-fits-all, like import SMS phone numbers and start blasting them. As you can imagine, I'm very careful about this for compliance. Both you and I could get in a lot of trouble if we don't do that correctly. So there's no current way to import a bunch of numbers and start hitting them with text messages. Buildy is set so anybody who comes into the infrastructure, like through your ads, through your pages, through your opt-in processes, it knows those are opt-in. But if you have a list and they are definitely opt-in, that's something that we can talk about and having my team do for you separately. So if you join us today and get the 24/7 sales engine, and I just want to make sure, we do want to verify that these are 100% opt-in and they're compliant SMS leads. If they are, then my team will help you import them. But it's not something that we don't have like an interface where you can just import and start blasting. We have to be very careful about compliance.
All right, thank you, Bill. Mickey would like to know about the monthly and if anything is built separately for stuff like emails, SMS, voice minutes, hosting, domains.
Yes, so the monthly fee covers all of the hosting and using Buildy. Like you get, again, I'm quoting off the top of my head, I think it's 300 message credits per month to talk back and forth with Buildy. You also get a budget of 30 minutes a day to do voice, like you see me doing with Buildy now, and that's included. If you choose to get a phone number, then there are additional fees for that. So, and that's the case with any platform anywhere, right? We have to pay the phone carriers, and we have to pay the fee for you to apply to get your SMS number. So we pass those fees on to you. So there would be a per text message and per minute of voice usage if you're using the phone. So if you're doing telephone, voice, or SMS, there will be additional charges for that. But for hosting, there's no additional charges. For domains, it's $29 a year. That's the only other additional charge.
This one's from Steve, which is regarding TikTok ads. It says TikTok is usually video. So does that mean this creates video?
It can, yeah, it can. Actually, would you guys like to see a cool video that Buildy made? Here, I'll hang up on him. We haven't asked him a question, so I'll hang up on him. And let me show you an example. Let's see. Okay, it's in this project here. Okay. As you can see, I use Buildy a lot for my own business. So we use this on all of our launches, all of our product launches, sales funnels, lead gen funnels. It's Buildy through everything. So I just want to show you this ad. Where is it? I think, where did I put it? It's a meta ad. I think it's in this one. There it is. This is the one. Did you see this one, Daniel?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Okay. So Buildy made this one.
Oh, yeah!
So that's an example. And then, of course, you can do like the generic talking head guys, like, I don't know, we'll look at this one.
My mind is
I'm getting some
blown.
delay here.
All you have to do is talk to this AI in plain English, and he builds anything. Websites, sales funnels, ads, blog posts, and all you have to do is...
And then here's another example.
My mind is blown. All you have to do is talk to this AI in plain English, and he builds anything. Websites, sales funnels, ads, blog posts, and all you have to do is talk to him.
So you can do all kinds of styles. We're also doing claymation, animation, and others. So those are examples of videos. And then he also does images. Let me see if I have in my queue any other images. Let me see here. Maybe in my media library. Let's take a look. No, I don't have any images. And then every once in a while, he will do something like this. So this will be an embarrassment I can show everyone. So this.
My mind is blown. All you have to do is talk to this AI in plain English, and he builds anything.
She's a ghost in the laptop. But there we go. Some examples. Next
Awesome.
question. Yeah.
Yeah, love that. Love the video feature. Steve asks here, is what happens if you use up the credits?
They reset the next month. You can buy more, but I mean, it is very rare for someone to burn 300 credits in a month. You have to be doing a lot of stuff to make that happen.
Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah. Fantastic. Mickey asks here, can I define and approve the routing rules so that AI recommends the correct service? Or does Buildy make those decisions automatically?
You could do it either way. You could give your feedback of how you want it to route it, and he'll follow your directions, or you could let him decide. It's up to you. And by the way, I want to let everybody know, to remind you that we're going to be wrapping up here soon. I can't imagine. I don't know how many more questions we've got, but I'm sure we're probably coming up to the end. And we're going to head out and close down and go away. So before we do, I want to make sure that you jump in now and grab your spot. Or The other option you have is to type hold my spot into the chat right now to lock your spot in so that my team will follow up with you offline and make sure that they help you get in. And so that could be like you have just one final question you got to get answered, or you need a little bit of delay while you transfer funds or credit card declines, whatever those various situations are. But type hold my spot before we leave the webinar so that you're not locked out in the cold. I definitely don't want to do that if you want in. So again, that's hold my spot. And you'll type that into the chat. And then if we got any good questions, we could ask Buildy.
Let's take a look here. There's a question, and we touched a little bit on it earlier, but can all quiz/interview answers be pushed into GHL custom fields?
We don't currently have that because, basically Buildy works as your CRM. And he holds all of those answers because that's how he continuously updates and keeps a library of his knowledge about your leads. It's all in Buildy. He is a CRM, just like High Level is. So all of those individual fields are not currently able to be sent to High Level. But you can export the lead, and a tag is the limit of what we have at the moment. If enough customers need it, then we can look at supporting adding more, more functionality. But right now, it's just the basic lead data and their tag.
On that note,
maybe I should focus on that a little more too, Daniel, just to show that for a second. Let me find. I got rid of all my. Oh, here's a project. So in your dashboard, I didn't really focus on that, but it is a fully featured CRM. So in here, all of your contacts come in here and all their contact information. This week, we are adding web calling. So you can actually go right into the record and hit a button and just call them on the phone or send them text messages right through this interface. Then there's tags, notes, follow-up campaigns, follow-up sequences, and they're all organized into a fully featured CRM that's just built right into Buildy. So some may want to just leave your leads in here. All right, next question.
All right, Elijah would like to know, can we connect it to other software via webhooks or APIs?
Yes. So Buildy, included in what he does, is a fully featured vibe coding platform. So anything you can do in, like, if those of you are, anybody here familiar with Lovable? Yeah, but tools like Lovable, Replit is another tool where you can write apps and code and work with tech, to where you can have things talking back and forth with each other. I don't want to get too technical. I think the audience has got a bunch of mixed people that are, some are technical, some are not, but you can do all of those things. So you can work with APIs and webhooks, and you can build full-fledged apps inside Buildy.
All right, and then there's a question regarding the how to get into the agency reseller. I think they would probably just hold their spot, right, Bill?
Yeah, hold your spot and talk to the team. I do know that it is an offer that gets made to you after you join. So when you join the 24/7 sales engine, you'll be offered a chance to grab the agency license if you so desire. You hold my spot if you want to talk to the team about it, for sure.
Okay. All right. It looks like one of the last questions I have here is someone who's considering jumping in at premium and wants to know what kind of support do they get.
All right. So at premium, you get access to our group coaching. So you'll have that availability of once a week. We have a session that we hold it's held inside of our school community. So it's a private session in there. And those in premium are invited into that session. And every week you have at least one of our mentors. Often there's more, and some of our staff is there as well. And we're there to help with some training and guidance, but also to help problem solve and help you out each week. So everyone in Premium gets that. And then everyone on all 3 levels gets access to our VIP support. So at any time you can email help@Buildy.ai, and we have a stack of support team, and we have a stack of tech support team that are willing to jump on Zoom with you. So if you're running into issues, confusions, problems, they'll jump on Zoom. You can screen share, you can bring up Buildy, and they'll help you solve any issue. So from tech support to strategy to customer service, everyone gets our VIP support. And there you have it. And then, of course, the ultimates obviously get your one-on-one mentorship on top of that.
Awesome. Another question is that we've had quite a few folks join us tonight or today. And a question that has come up is, what are they to expect next?
So you're going to get a call from us. So we're going to personally reach out to you. You'll get it's not just a generic thing. We're going to, a real person will reach out to you and call you. We'll follow up by email if we can't get a hold of you to make sure we onboard you, get you started, get your questions answered, and make sure you know exactly what to do next. And that's what will happen next. And typically that'll happen within 1 business day of when you sign up. And then, excuse me, then off you go.
All right. A few more came in here. One from, I think this is Hazel. Oh, no, excuse me. That's Tony. Is there any type of business outreach this would not suit?
Well, one thing, just for clarity, I don't want to, it's not a cold outreach program. So that's not what Buildy does. But so just want to make sure that's super clear. But in terms of the types of niches that this works with, there really is no limit. There are some niches that, whether there are legal issues or others, that we might not, we might give you a refund back if you're in one. But as long as you're in a ethical, legal niche, then it will work for you. Basically, there is nobody on the planet who does not respond to one-on-one human-like marketing and sales. Everyone does across every niche you could ever imagine. And there's still a few people here that for hanging out so long, I'm going to reward one of you with $100. So we're going to do that in just a moment. And this is it, final call for questions. And then we'll wrap it up and head out of here. So last round, did we have anything else come in?
Yeah, one from Dave who said, he says, does Buildy integrate with databases like Apollo or Clay? Are they needed for finding prospects?
Well, if Apollo, I don't use Apollo or Clay myself, but I know they have APIs, and I know Buildy can tap into and work with any API. When you give it the instructions, you give it the keys, and it can work with those APIs. But again, I do want to remind you, Buildy's not a cold outreach tool necessarily. But could it work with and tap into those databases? Absolutely.
All right, Mickey would like to know, if I stop paying the monthly, what stops working, and can I export what I create?
So the first thing is, yes, you can export what you create. Full disclosure, it will take somebody with some tech knowledge to go move that and migrate it to hosting somewhere else. But it is possible. You can export all of your files. They belong to you. They're completely owned by you. And so with that in mind, you can export them and put them wherever you want. But just realize it's not as simple as just clicking a button and uploading it somewhere. You will need a technical person to do that for you. So all that belongs to you. Now, if you stop paying, then your projects, at some point, we won't take them down immediately, but at some point, yes, the projects will go down, the CRM will go down, the websites eventually will go offline if you discontinue the monthly fee, because that does cover all of your hosting. It covers all of your email infrastructure. Like you also get a professional email address at every domain you register. So you'll have a personal, email on your domain name. So it covers that. It covers the hosting and all the infrastructure. So if the monthly fee stopped coming in, we don't do it immediately. We like to try to work with people to see if maybe you can downgrade to a lower plan or suspend or hold billing, but eventually they'll be shut down and they'll all go away. So that's part of what you're paying for.
Awesome. And let's see here. Can you elaborate more on why Buildy can't be used for cold outreach?
Because it's all about email infrastructure. So if you think, how do I try to do a very quick education on cold outreach for the whole audience? So if you're familiar with cold outreach, one of the biggest battles in doing cold email is your inboxing and your email infrastructure. And there's a whole thing where you have to you buy email inboxes, you warm them up, and you send your cold emails. Eventually, enough people hit the spam button that they burn out, and you got to buy another batch of inboxes and another batch of domains, and then you keep going. That's part of the game of cold outreach. Now, our infrastructure with Buildy is built with opt-in in mind. That means that people have given express permission when they register, sign up as a lead, join your mailing list, sign up for an event or a webinar. It's all opt-in. And the email service providers that we use, the email backbone behind us, their rules are that it's opt-in only. And we do that to keep really high deliverability, because we want to make sure that all of the businesses hosted on Buildy, their emails get inboxed, and that if we do cold email on that same infrastructure, it will ruin the reputation, and then no one can inbox. So for that reason, we don't currently do cold outreach, but we're having more and more people ask for it. So I might be setting up a whole separate thing where you can connect to a different email infrastructure that's completely for cold email marketing. But again, realize that cold email and managing those inboxes is a whole thing in and of itself. If you've done it before, you know what I'm talking about. But there you go. Long answer, but that's the real info. Awesome.
All right, and let's see. I think this is the last question that I have. Somebody who's looking at your 6-month risk reversal and wants to know, they're looking at the 180 days. So they have a full 6 months to take action and implement. Is that right?
That is right. You don't have to wait, you're not stuck on a timer having to wait 6 full months before you trigger it. You have up to that time. If you go past that, then the offer's expired, right? So anytime from now until then, you can trigger the risk reversal and talk to our support team. But again, remember, I am expecting that we're doing this together. So don't expect to not do anything and then trigger it. Full disclosure, I don't want it to feel like bait and switch or anything like that. I do expect you're going to do the trainings, implement, get our help, right? Like I said, it's a 50-50 thing. We work together. You and I and my team, we all work together. And if you're willing to do that, then I will back it up with the risk reversal. Then I think that was it, right? That's our last question.
There's another one from Mickey here, which we might cover.
It keeps slipping in. Okay, we'll do one more.
Yeah, last one. Mickey's talking about go high level. So he's talking about a specific flow about can every lead for an established agency using go high level, can every lead answer recommendation, summary, tag, and the next step be pushed into GHL custom field. So we went over this a little bit earlier, but can you repeat how it integrates with GHL?
Yeah, so let's say that you're going to categorize your leads into, like, I don't know, 5 buckets. Let's just say, wow, I'm sure blurry over there. Just I don't know why that distracts me so much when I see that. But anyway, let's say you're breaking your leads down into 5 categories, and through, like, a survey or doing a click where they click on different choices. You could take the general category of the type of lead and send it to high level in a tag. But what you can't send is all of the detailed information, like what are the long text answers to the survey, transcripts from voice calls, responses from emails, things like that. That stuff will live in Buildy and can't currently be transferred to high level. But you could send a tag that just kind of tags them as the general classification of the kind of lead they are. So hopefully that helps and makes sense. And so then with that, we're going to do the giveaway. So I promised $100. There are still quite a few people here. So one of you gets $100 for, like, really being troopers and hanging out with me all this time. We've been together a long time now, so thanks for hanging out this long. So we're going to reward you for that, at least one of you. We're going to give out $100, and here's how it's going to work. I just want some feedback from you. That's it. So right now, I want you to give you a moment, no rush. So take a moment to think about this webinar, this presentation. And yes, I was selling something today, but I still hope that I delivered some kind of value to you, whether you bought or didn't. I hope this opened your mind to a new way of doing marketing. And I hope you got some kind of value, maybe an aha moment at some point. But let me know how I did. Did I provide value to you beyond the pitch? Because that's what I'm really striving for. And also, you can give negative feedback. You don't have to bribe us with nice, happy feedback. You can give us negative feedback, and that counts too. We will randomly pick one of you. And then, Daniel, can you announce the winner in the chat in a couple minutes?
Yeah, of course. Good luck,
Awesome.
everyone.
Cool. So Daniel will announce who wins. So keep an eye on the chat. We'll give everybody just about 2 minutes to put your thoughts together and send them through. Only send one. Sending multiple rounds of feedback doesn't get you multiple entries. So one feedback, one entry ticket, pop that in, and then Daniel will randomly select. One of you will win $100, and it will be announced in the chat. Now, if you do have negative feedback, I have a favor to ask. Just be creative and constructive with your criticism, and don't throw tomatoes and be like, Bill, you suck. Just tell me what I could have done better. And then that will qualify you to be able to win just as much as somebody who says wonderful things about me. So either way is totally fine. I just want the honest feedback. That's what I'm looking for. And again, as a way of thanking you for being here this long and then also interacting with us in the chat, one of you will be awarded the $100. Now, I do want to let you know we're closing down and heading out of here. So this is it. Go join now before we're gone and grab your spot. And this will be the final time that you can put hold my spot into the chat right now. So if you want to talk to the team, get some questions answered, or you need time to transfer funds or whatever other situation you might have, hold my spot is your option. Or to make sure you get your spot, go sign up now. And the link has been, I'm sure, popped into your chat panel quite a few times by this point. So go check that out, grab the offer, hold your spot, all those great things. And Daniel, thank you a ton for your help today, wrangling questions and getting us set up here.
Yeah, you're welcome, Bill.
And with that, we're going to wrap it up. I'm glad you spent some time with me today. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed the webinar and you were as blown away as I was. Inside the webinar, Bill asked people to drop certain keywords. Drop those certain keywords below in the comment section and we'll make sure his team gets back to you. Otherwise, I hope you have a really nice day and I'll speak to you soon.